What's up? What's up? What is up, everybody? Hello, and welcome to another episode of Critically Aroused, the podcast where we ask, do we even need film critics? And then we review a movie. My name is Blaine Andrews, and joining me today is actually, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see there are 4 of us, not just 3. So, as usual, we've got Chris Kaus over here.
Hello.
And Matt Verlack.
Hey, everybody.
And the notorious Chris
Often
Tallent.
mentioned.
Yes,
How's it
often
going?
mentioned. Yeah. Welcome, man.
Notorious.
Welcome back. It's been
nice
what?
to be here.
Like a couple months?
Yeah, it's been a while.
At least like half a year
Yeah.
since New Mutants.
Yeah, that's when we did it.
You'll just be like our return superhero movie
I'm down.
guest. I'm down for that.
Yeah.
And obviously, you're guaranteed to be our DC movie guest,
Yes.
so that to like counteract whatever level of shit Chris is talking. So, and actually, speaking of shit, today's episode is going to be rated R.
Fuck yeah.
So just like the Justice League, because apparently this one's rated R, unlike the
Yes.
first one.
Yes.
I don't know if y'all caught that,
It was.
but.
Yes.
Yeah, so today we are not going to be following the regular format. This isn't going to be split up into 2 episodes like we've been doing lately. Actually, it's just going to be one single episode. I have no idea how long this is going to go. We're just going to totally run through everything surrounding regular old Justice League and Zack Snyder Presents Justice League. Is that what they're calling this thing? Or Zack Snyder's?
Yeah, it's got a...
Yeah,
it's
Zack Snyder's Justice League. So we'll be talking about everything surrounding that. So we're not going to be doing any news or what's new with you. But we did tell Chris that Tallent, that is. We'll call you Tallent today,
fine.
and
Be
you can be
Cowles.
Chris. Yeah,
Oh.
no, you can just
No,
be
you
Chris.
just be Chris. I'll be
You're
Cowles.
always just Chris. So not just Chris, but Tallent. We told him that this was a judgment-free zone, and when he thought we were doing a What's New with You this week, he was going to talk about what he's been watching, and we're all waiting with bated breath to know, what have you been watching?
A metric fuck ton of Grey's Anatomy.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, no hate, man.
I can't stop watching it.
Really?
I made
That is
fun
like
of-
that statement. I just can't stop watching
I
Grey's
made
Anatomy.
so much fun of my wife for watching this show, and I would like, she would watch it on her iPad while she cooked dinner and
Yeah.
pause it, and I'm like, this is not that good. And then,
Then you got hooked in all the love triangles and
no, so
McSteamy.
it's McDreamy actually.
Is Mick
Is it not
Dreamy?
a-
McDreamy is the original, and then
Okay.
McSteamy came along. I mean,
okay.
God Almighty,
Thank you for clarifying.
yeah. But my wife wasn't feeling very good, and I'm like, hey, let's watch Grey's. You don't want to really watch Grey's. Let's just watch Grey's. And I could not stop watching Grey's.
Really? So did you start at the beginning?
Yeah, episode 1, like with flip phones and beepers and stuff.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, because I remember it started when we were in like middle school or high school or
yeah.
something, like
Yeah,
a long time
and I have
ago.
hated that show without watching it for so long.
Yeah.
And I want to get a Grey's T-shirt, honestly.
that level.
I like it a lot.
Oh, man.
It's
really
all right.
good.
That's
I'm
impressive.
embarrassed for you.
It's okay.
I've never seen it, so I can't say anything.
It's
No,
really
I-
good. So it's like super drama-y.
Drama-y.
Drama-ish.
Yeah.
But
We know
it's good. I mean, it's got good stories. It's each episode's different a little bit. The love triangles are hilarious,
Yeah.
but yes, I like Grace.
And you can't. How far are you into this gray hole?
About to be on season 4, but I only watch
Season-
it with her. So
Okay.
What
there's
are there,
like,
like 14
there's
seasons?
like
Yeah,
20 seasons. It's awful.
So this
It just
explains
ended.
why you haven't been texting me about like watching different things.
Yes,
and watching
because I've been
shows.
watching Grace. So I watch
Shame.
my stuff
Yeah.
at work on my lunch break.
Okay.
And then I watch Grey's when I'm at home. So I'm still on The Expanse. I haven't
Okay.
finished The
You
Expanse
still
yet
haven't finished yet?
because I watch Grey's.
It's okay. These guys still haven't. And
I'm
he
in
just
the
couldn't
middle of
come
the
back
second season.
So I'm on season 4 finally, and it's freaking great. You need to watch
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Just
Yes.
someone else to
Yes.
just spread the love towards it.
But no, I watch Grey's when I'm at home with her.
Okay.
And yes,
There is judgment here, but only
okay. It's
a,
a
you
good
know,
show.
a
It's a
small
good
amount.
show.
No, that's interesting. I don't think how many seasons have there been?
There's
like,
I mean, hold on. I'll tell
I
you.
feel like it
And it's on
literally
Netflix, right?
Just
Yeah, it's on
ended
Netflix.
not that long ago. I feel like it's only been like 3 or 4 years.
I didn't
No,
even know
it's
it
still-
ended.
it's
I
still
thought
on.
it
Oh,
was
it's still
on.
going.
Yeah, the new season.
What am I
I don't
thinking
know if I'll
of?
watch it. It's super.
I don't know.
You'll know like in a
22.
year or two when you get there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because
Well,
20
yeah, but-
seasons is a lot of
That's
anything.
so-
Yeah, and it's like 20-something episodes.
Oh my god!
Hour
That
each,
is just,
right?
You could
Yeah.
not pay me.
Yep.
Oh my god!
It started-
Wait,
Yeah.
Well, you might like it. You
2005.
don't know.
Started in 2005 when we were juniors.
okay.
Yep.
Holy cow!
Yeah, and it's on season 17.
And it's still going. I
Yeah.
could have swore
That
it
is
ended.
wild.
Maybe it was just like the end of a season.
No, season 17.
It's got to be one of the longest running shows that isn't like a
Yeah.
soap opera. But
It's
I mean,
basically
it is
a
a
soap
soap
opera.
or
opera
animated.
or animated, yeah,
Right.
like Simpsons or something. That's wild.
It is
But I like
wild.
it.
Well, I wonder.
Is there anybody still left
That's
of the
what I
original
was
cast?
just about to say.
So Gray, of course, Dr. Gray is still there, and a couple of the other main characters, but they've killed off a lot. And
Spoiler alert.
All the characters have
Everyone
been
it's
dies.
17 seasons.
No, they actually died in real life from
yeah.
old age.
Yes, because
Gotcha.
it's been on for that long.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good. I'm worried about after the people that I like right now leave,
not
if
on
I'll
it.
still like it. And she's a little worried about that too. But
Okay.
for right now, it's still good. So
Huh. So did she rewatch some of it because?
no, she's rewatching every episode.
Okay, so she was like caught up or whatever.
She watched the entire series in like a month.
Oh my god.
I'm telling you, she would watch it for 15 minutes and then pause it if the kids needed something and then pick it back up.
Just have it on all the time in the background.
Yep.
That's
Which is,
wild.
I mean, if you're at home and you can do that, then that's one hell of a way to watch through
Oh,
a
yeah.
show.
She did Criminal Minds. She did Grey's, Scandal, all these shows. She just binges.
Yeah.
I just normally don't watch this kind of shows. I don't know why. I'm just
You
like
would probably hate it.
I might,
But I
yeah.
love it.
Yeah, hey, to each his own, man. I don't blame you. I'm glad you told us. You shared your
Yeah,
inner
you
thoughts.
shared,
here.
you
I,
shared.
I feel much
Well,
lighter.
Yeah, you
That's
should.
good.
Yeah.
That's good. You should share these kind of things with
Yeah,
people.
you
I
should.
feel much better.
We'll bring you on just to.
So
you
I
can-
actually,
Just give us updates on this.
so I confessed to a guy at work, and I was like, "You won't believe what I'm watching." And he sent me a GIF of Grey's Anatomy, and I was like, "Holy shit! Did we just become best friends?"
yeah,
Did y'all?
it's like the
Yes.
Yeah,
the office
okay.
like let's form an alliance.
Yeah. So, thank you, Austin.
That's great. Nice.
Now you have to watch this.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
You brought him up.
Got
You got a
Tallent.
shout out. That's right. So now that we've had a wonderful moment with Tallent, we will move on into everything Justice League.
All right.
So basically what I wanted to do surrounding this movie is I want to get we're not going to go total normal movie format with this. What I want to do is I think there are a lot of people that one might have seen this that don't really know what happened, why there's another movie, what exactly is everything surrounding it. I know Chris doesn't even know a lot of what surrounded
I know
this whole
nothing.
situation. There were a lot of people like Chris who absolutely despised the first movie, and then there's this movie that's out and they're intrigued and see that it's 4 hours and whatever. So I kind of wanted to talk about some of the inner workings,
Yeah,
but
it's definitely like something that's going to turn people off.
what as far as what?
Oh, if you saw Batman versus Superman,
Oh.
and then you saw the Justice League, and then they're like, here's a 4-hour version of it.
Yeah,
Most people are going to go, no.
Well, that's the thing. Like, so Chris, with you being a big DC fan, what did you think about Batman vs Superman?
So I didn't love it. I didn't hate it.
That's kind of where
I don't think there's a DC movie that I truly hate. Like, just can't stand. Look at him. I have only seen Batman vs Superman once.
Yeah.
I've seen
So you
Man
didn't
of
see
Steel
the extended?
multiple times. No,
Dude.
I haven't seen it. Man of Steel.
Man
so
of
good.
Steel is like chef's
It's
kiss
so good.
perfection.
But then, so I watched Superman Returns. We're gonna go way back.
Yeah.
I watched Superman Returns in theater, and I was like, I got up out of my seat like 5 times thinking the movie was over, and it just kept going. It was awful. But so I didn't see the extended version of Batman vs Superman yet.
Okay. Because that is actually very good. Well, I'd say
Better.
And that's on HBO Max,
yeah,
right?
it's
The
much better.
extended?
Yeah, I think it is.
Okay.
Yeah, because Kyle Gazak messaged me and he said he watched like the extended of the other stuff, and I remember going back because I wasn't as crazy about the original one, and Zack Snyder is notorious for director's cuts. That is like his shtick, and so I watched that one and I actually liked it much more.
Good. So
But-
then I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's worth watching. So I mean, there's that, but. So, yeah, I mean, you're right. If there were people that were turned off by DC stuff, but I think everybody's just intrigued about what this movie is, why it's
They
coming
talked
out.
about it for so long.
They have. Well, and so the whole thing is, I guess, I don't know if you guys know. Do you guys know about the first Justice League and why it wasn't Zack Snyder's Justice
Didn't
League?
his daughter get sick or something?
So,
Well, I know
She
Joss
committed
Whedon
suicide.
swooped in.
Oh.
during
Yeah.
production.
Oh.
so see, yeah, during production, his daughter committed suicide. Now, from all reports, basically, Warner Brothers used that event to basically eject him from the movie. Like, they were already going to... There was so much dispute. They were kind of trying to get rid of him already. And from everything, all reports, and basically what he has said since, is basically when the event happened with his daughter, that he basically said, like, this movie has become such a headache. I'm so tired of fighting Warner Brothers. I'm just out. Like, and it basically, and it sounded like Warner Brothers was trying to shoo him out anyways. And, or from there's so much to wade through with like how much, and we'll talk about more going forward, is how much material there is in this movie. I mean, it's 4 hours worth, and all of this was filmed except for maybe 20 minutes of it, I think, were filmed before he even left. Like, this was all old footage. So basically, they got Joss Whedon. And I'm guessing all three of you know who Joss Whedon is, but for those who don't, Joss Whedon is the director primarily known for Avengers. He also did Alias. He's done a number of nerd culture things throughout the years, but the big thing was Avengers, and clearly that's why they picked him up for Justice League. But as we've all seen, that was an absolute train wreck.
Yeah.
Yep. Mistake.
Because basically, after seeing this movie, without spoiling too much, I think we can confidently say, and Matt just recently watched it, that at least an hour of the first version of Justice League was reshoots done by Joss Whedon. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think so.
Probably about an hour worth of material.
Yeah.
So basically, this new movie is 3 hours worth of new material as a whole, basically. So, and almost all of it, except for a small portion, was filmed back then. So all of this was left on the cutting room floor. So, you know, there's so much surrounding this. And then basically the deal with the Snydercut, that's probably what you don't know, is like why this happened. I don't know if you heard, like,
Sounds
Chris
like it's
surrounding.
WB being dumb.
Well, so yeah, they had all this material still, and basically the fans screamed from the top of their lungs when they heard that this version was out there for months and months and months on end, because everyone disliked the first one so much. And Zack basically said, like, this is not my movie. I didn't make this movie. And it's very clear. I don't know if you noticed it, and we can talk about it during the review, but it's very clear watching the first one. Like, you can literally sit there and go, this was filmed by Joss Whedon. This was filmed by Joss Whedon.
Oh, you
like,
can definitely tell.
His name is written all over it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just... And clearly, they were trying to interject Avengers into Justice League instead of just letting it be what these movies have been the whole time and letting it be whatever Zack wanted it to be. It was just like, insert witty banter here, insert joke here, insert like...
I mean, the original one was a lot more jokes and it was just trying to be funnier the entire time.
Yeah.
One-liners constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't realize until...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So I like the dark side of DC,
Yeah.
and the fact that they gear themselves more towards, in my opinion, the older, more adult type viewer.
Yeah.
And the original Justice League, definitely, like you said, it didn't feel like that. But this one,
And they had already proven
Much
that formula worked, too. If you look at the Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah.
Fucking dark.
Yeah.
Like, dark, gritty, not a lot of laughs.
It was almost rated
And
R.
it was great.
would have been so
And
good
then
with R.
they let Joss Whedon... Well, I mean, Zack Snyder, like, screwed the pooch with Batman vs. Superman.
Yeah, I think he
But-
lost a lot of goodwill with that because a lot of people really liked Man of Steel. And then, but on the same hand, it's like knowing what we know and what I was saying a little bit about going back and watching that director's cut. Like, it's not perfect. The whole Martha thing is stupid. Like, they're like, Martha is the dumbest thing in comic book movies ever. Like, you literally can't even talk about it without laughing. Like, it is the dumbest.
No, I still
shit.
make fun of it. I made fun of it while I was watching the 4-hour movie, which has nothing to do with it. And I was still like, Martha, Martha.
You're like, that's my mom too.
Wait, your mom's name is Martha? That's so weird. Let's be friends.
It is. It's just like that. Like, what?
Oh,
what?
God. That is the worst turning point of any superhero anything.
It
Of
really
literally
is.
any movie.
Yeah.
Maybe even a comic. I may be wrong on that point.
Yeah, but still.
But I'm
like,
still putting it out there.
Yeah.
But how great would it have been if Batman just straight up killed Superman,
Yeah.
like in Batman versus Superman? Because he was about to.
Yeah.
And then the Martha thing happened.
It would have been still equally unbelievable.
I would have loved it.
Yeah.
Kill Superman.
Yeah. I mean, Superman is OP AF.
Unless
pretty
you're
much.
Batman.
I mean, unless you're, or Doomsday, or, you know, I mean, well, and we'll get into more about that. Like, but, which I honestly, that was my whole thing, is I went into Man of Steel not being excited. Like, I had always just been like, Superman's so overpowered. Like, he's got this one thing that hurts him. And like we've talked about off screen or podcasts, magic sometimes hurts him too. But like outside of magic, outside of magic and kryptonite, like that's it. So it's kind of like that's just such a hard hero. And then they made Man of Steel so good, and then turned around and he lost all that goodwill in Batman vs Superman with the Martha event. And so there's all of that, but basically the other stuff that I wanted to touch on was basically just that the reason that the Snyder Cut happened is because everybody for like a year, multiple years, was hemming and hawing, and literally like a year before they announced that they were doing it, a whole bunch of people at Comic-Con paid to get like airplanes to fly over with banners and like made billboards. Like it was a full-blown funded campaign to make this happen.
That's wild.
Now I vote that they do the same thing for the air cut of oh my goodness, the movie that we saw together, Suicide Squad.
Yeah, but they're making a new one already.
They are, I know, which is like a soft reboot, I think.
Right.
But like David Ayer has said that like that movie was not the movie he made either, which all of this leads
Warner Brothers
to...
needs to learn.
Yeah.
Keep their hands fucking out of the director's pictures. Yeah, they just need to stop.
Like why are they paying all this money for directors? Because I'm sure they're not. These are well-known, good directors. Yeah. And then they go and like put their dick in there and just be like, yeah, we want it this way instead. Just fucking let them do what they're supposed to do, what you're paying them a lot of money to do. And
it's because they're listening to a bunch of like PR people that are like, no, we need to make it funnier. We need to make it this, that, and the other because they have no vision.
Like if we want this,
they're
to
not
be
following a director's vision on the project.
Yeah,
like, recent polls are showing
that they will
18
like
to 36-year-olds.
Yeah, exactly.
Jokes.
And they really like how funny the Avengers movies are. And it's like, but no one can do what Marvel is doing. Like, it's impossible.
Right.
Like, they get lightning in a
try
bottle.
to imitate somebody that's already killing it.
Yeah.
Do your own thing.
Yeah.
Make it dark. Make it gritty. Make it something go, that was too funny. I want to watch something a little more serious. Boom, here you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, they could
that's what you
even
do.
like push the darkness. Like,
They
people like getting fucking decapitated and shit. And I'd be like, hell
There was some stuff in this movie that surprised me, honestly.
same.
Like, there were a couple moments where I was just like,
oh, yeah.
like,
I'm watching it in the break and I'm like, damn.
yeah. Yeah, I was pretty surprised by, oh my God, I'm making all kinds of noise over here, slamming beer together. But yeah, there was quite a few things that surprised me about this. So the other thing that I wanted to pop in on was the aspect ratio. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed. I'm sure the people watching as well.
I don't know how anybody did not notice,
that this
especially at
movie
the
is
beginning of the movie.
Square. Did you notice?
Square.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't notice?
You
Fucking idiots. They don't notice things.
Did you really not notice it was square?
Yeah.
He totally didn't notice. It was square.
Yeah, totally noticed.
So
Is this different than I only have watched,
it's not the 16:9. It's not like everything else on TV nowadays. It was the more traditional, like, so you had the black bars on the side of the TV.
like the old movies used to be. Yeah.
Made for a square TV.
Yeah. So the reason that Zack did this
Didn't notice.
was there were kind of two reasons, but the main one being shooting in IMAX. Basically, there's actually technically more square footage on screen, I guess, when it's in that square aspect ratio. But so when you film in IMAX, you have to use special IMAX cameras, and those cameras also don't have sound on them. They're literally image only. So basically, he knew that his films were going to be in IMAX, and he likes IMAX. And his concept was like, because if you watch an IMAX movie, when you go in, like some movies will be filmed partially in IMAX, and you'll be watching the movie, and it will literally expand, and like the scene will get bigger. Oh. It will blow up. Watch if you like certain movies. Some of them are filmed throughout with IMAX cameras, but that's rare because it's extremely expensive. So his goal was, if I film it in this aspect ratio, it will fill up more of an IMAX screen, and we won't have to use those cameras. And there will just be little bars on the side of the IMAX screen, basically. And so that's the main reason, from what I gather, for why he did this. The other reason is because what he was talking about was he wants to try and push people switching back to this ratio. And he said that basically, especially with superheroes, like you're rarely viewing them vertically or horizontally. I mean, you're regularly viewing them vertically. You know, they're standing tall.
Yeah.
They're a
Unless they're
presence,
flying.
unless they're Superman flying across the screen, like.
Or if their dick's out.
Yeah, or if they're you got to have full dick range.
You want that 16:9.
all
Gotta
the
see
way
the
across. Yeah, you got to be able to tell that in the image. So yeah, but basically that was his point, was you can get more in the shot height wise. And so the interesting thing about that is obviously how he filmed this movie originally, which means that in that original version of the Justice League, we were getting a whole bunch chopped off of the top and bottom of the entire film. Like, that wasn't even there.
Now, did they not also film it in non-IMAX? Because I know a lot of times that's what they'll do.
Well, yeah.
They'll film it in IMAX, but they'll also be simultaneously filming it with a different camera on like the similar location, either right above or below, whatever.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that's what they did.
No, because the thing is these weren't IMAX cameras to get that ratio.
Oh,
it was regular cameras that he was using to get that ratio.
Oh.
And so that was the thing, is that that's just how he filmed it. He didn't use those cameras, and I guess it saved a lot of money too because he didn't have to use IMAX cameras. So it's a strange situation, but we've not seen anything like this in years where the aspect ratio is like that. So
I don't know the last time I saw something.
WandaVision.
I think I remember
new. Well,
WandaVision.
WandaVision,
But, I mean, it was not a movie, obviously.
right.
True.
Right.
And it was intentionally random ratios depending on what year it was that they were trying to mimic. So, yeah, that was one of the other things I kind of wanted to touch in on, because I feel like there's just a lot of, for regular folks, there's a lot of confusion surrounding this movie, because it's just like, what is it? Why are all these weird things happening? Why is it so much different than other things I've seen? So those are the main things that I wanted to talk about before we really dug into this review. But is there anything else that you guys wanted to talk about before we really dig into the normal format?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay, sweet. So from here, basically what we're going to do is the regular format of the podcast. We'll talk about basically who should and shouldn't see this movie. Not a whole lot to get into there. And then we'll do our tomato scores and then our full spoiler review about Justice League. And the other thing is that we will be able to, because Matt and I have recently seen the original, so we will be able to do a good comparison for you and kind of let you know some of the differences and where certain versions might fall short and so on and so forth. And it'll be interesting to talk to you guys about it, because neither one of you have recently seen the original one.
We'll be useless.
Yeah,
Just like me.
you will be.
But you'll have a more clear vision of the more recent one.
Exactly,
than
yeah.
the older one.
My vision is not as tainted, I guess, from
Yeah.
the atrocity that was the original.
A taint is a good way to describe that first
The
version
original
of this movie. So, but basically, as far as who should and shouldn't see this movie, I mean, basically, if you're into superhero stuff,
just watch it.
Yeah, I mean,
Even if you hate
man.
DC,
there's no other way to really put it. You
No.
know?
like
If you can carve out 4 hours or break it up into... That's another thing they did with this one. There's actually chapters.
Yeah.
So this is just out to anybody who hasn't even looked at it, because they're like, 4 hours, They break it into 6 chapters, right? And literally there's like 8.
I think there's 8.
It's 8 total.
6 or 8. And there's literally screens that are like, chapter 2. You can pause there. So it makes it very easy to watch.
Yeah.
If you want to break it up.
It does, because we did that actually, because Sydney bailed after the end of chapter 2, but not because she didn't enjoy it. She was just like, I'm about to fall asleep. It's 11 o'clock. Can we come back to this? And so I stopped and waited for her. But it does work well for that. And I don't know if you guys remember, but quite a while back, we did a podcast where we talked about it. And I had said that they were reporting that this was going to come out in separate TV episodes.
That's what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
I do remember
not
you saying
recently,
that.
but you did mention
I
it.
talked
time
about it,
ago.
yeah. And that was originally in the talks that this was going to be, I think out of the 8 chapters, it was going to be 2 chapters per episode. And we were going to get 4 episodes or whatever of this
an
movie.
hour-long episode.
I feel like they would have had to chop it up, edit it differently.
Maybe.
But
It would have been a disservice.
It would have, I think, to chop it up like that. I mean, I understand. It's like, if you're going to do that, do it on your own time.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I mean,
But that's probably what they decided. I was like, you could just pause it at our chapter markers.
Right.
because I just feel like it would be uncomfortable for people who are really into it, where it's because of how these chapters are broken up, especially towards the latter portions, if you broke it up, people would just be like, what the fuck? Why would you split it up that way?
I'm just ready for the end.
Yeah, I just want to finish this movie. It's not like a TV show where you're just coming into a new episode. So,
I mean, the chapters serve the same purpose. as episodes. Like if you want to binge it all, you can just binge every episode. Or if you want to pause it, you can pause it at the chapters. So.
Yeah. So, anyways, but that's what that. If you're into DC or not, honestly, just for the simple fact of scientific purposes, just watch this. Like,
it's honestly, like, if you didn't like Batman vs Superman and Justice League, you should just give this a try.
Yeah,
just to see if you like it or not. Like, you might love it and be like, man, what the fuck? They should have not fucked with this. Or maybe you're like, this is still garbage.
Yeah,
and listen to Matt,
right? Well, and just for like cinema history, I think, like, really, this
is really the first time that I've really seen. Well, besides Blade Runner, that's the other big time I think of a director coming back and being like, "You guys slaughtered my vision."
Yeah, like this is the definitive version.
Yeah,
like, and it's never been anything like this. Like, I mean, this is 3 hours of a movie, and I mean, there's a lot of stuff that gets left on a cutting room floor, but usually directors do that intentionally, and they overfilm things, and they're filming things that they know might or might not make it into the movie, and so they have enough to work with. But it's like,
well, he had to have done that here as well. So just imagine the amount that got cut, like uncut.
Yeah, because this is a 4-hour movie,
right?
Including his cuts.
Yeah,
including some reshoots. But then, how much extra was still left
on the floor
out of the movie?
That's what I told Sydney. I was like, after seeing this, and I don't want to give away too much, but it's like after seeing this and seeing that it's 4 hours long and seeing how much of it was necessary, like he had to have known what a massive movie he had on his hands. He had to have known that it was
that might have been part of their problem.
I think it probably was. They're like, yo, this is longer than Lord of the Rings,
right?
Like the Fellowship.
To be fair, they didn't do a big setup like Marvel did.
Yeah,
they didn't do a bunch of these.
Well, that's where they've shot themselves
in
the foot. They did in general.
Yeah, it's like you needed a Flash movie first. You needed or at least Flash and Cyborg. You needed.
You needed duo.
They could have done. Yeah, they could have done a buddy. Superhero movie.
Well, and they were supposed to.
Yep.
There was supposed to be a Flash Cyborg movie. It was supposed to be like a buddy cop movie with the two of them, which is now definitely not ever going to happen with all of the issues with Ray Fisher that have been going on. I don't know if you guys have heard all that.
And Ezra Miller.
It's his isn't affecting his career as much, I don't think.
Yeah, it's kind of been swept under the rug, it seems.
Yeah, Ezra Miller had like a physical altercation with a woman.
Yeah, you can call him a woman here. Like,
he like, I guess he choked out a lady or something.
Yeah, he assaulted a woman.
Yeah,
it was an accident.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He fell into her with his open hand.
Like, he was joking.
It was a weird thing. I don't know how it happened. Now, honestly, I haven't seen the footage or anything, but I
haven't either. I actually wasn't even aware of that. Xena brought that one up.
Yeah,
because he's big in the
Fantastic Beasts
movies.
Yeah.
And apparently they were talking about recasting him for the third one, and they've already recasted Johnny Depp.
Yeah. And now Johnny Depp is like out of his. God, I don't think that they'll recast him.
I don't think they can. He's bigger than Grindelwald.
Yeah.
The character.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what they would do.
So, but basically, and as far as the stuff with Ray Fisher, I would be absolutely blown away if Ray Fisher ever comes back.
Right.
For the simple fact that I feel like the dude is trying to torpedo his entire career. But
not to be mean, but since he is like only this part of his
face is showing
in it, I think they could replace him pretty easily.
Yeah.
Without like detracting from the character.
Yeah,
well,
that was
like
exactly
the Iron Man, what's his name?
Rhodey.
Rhodey,
yeah.
Rhodey being replaced.
Completely different people.
Completely different people.
That was
not
a
even
full
like
recasting.
Not even like similar.
A lot of people forget that was a different actor in Iron Man 1.
Yeah, Don Cheadle, wasn't it?
Don Cheadle is who
he's current.
Is current.
Yes.
Oh, he's the
it
current.
Was Lawrence Fishburne?
No. It was
I
the guy from Empire. Terrence Howard.
Yeah.
Terrence Howard.
Terrence
Howard.
Little mix up.
Terrence Tower.
Yeah, because he was the first War Machine.
Yeah. He was
in the first Iron Man.
I remember being super bummed actually when they swapped him out because I always really liked him.
I like Don Cheadle though.
Yeah, I like Don Cheadle too, but I think that basically he had beef with Marvel, and so
Terrence
he wanted
Howard
more
did.
money. So
He wanted more
I'm pretty
money.
sure it was like he demanded to get paid as much as like Robert Downey.
Oh, okay.
So he wanted to get paid as much as the star
Yeah.
of the movie.
and they were just
trying to
kinda like,
hustle.
nah.
Dude.
And the hustle got him kicked out.
How
and
much
then,
money he lost out on.
Oh, I know, and like a booming career because of continuous.
because aren't they doing a War Machine?
Yeah, and he's
movie?
getting his own TV show.
Yep.
Yeah,
Or his own show too. Yeah.
So Don Cheadle will have his own show. So
Great.
yeah, but basically with the whole issue with the interesting thing about the issue with Ray Fisher, who plays Cyborg, is that he had a lot of beef with Joss Whedon. And he came out with all these allegations against Joss Whedon, which is fine. Like, there is things that have been circulating over the years that Joss Whedon is a D-bag. Right. He very well might be. The problem is the relentless nature in which Ray Fisher has pursued this. And even after Warner Brothers saying they're going to address it and whatever, he just kept on and kept on. And literally this has been going on for like a year now. And he's still, like, now he started coming after executives at Warner Brothers and stuff. And it's just like, dude, like, you need to know when to stop. Like, there's a point when, especially since this was like his first movie ever. So, like, when it's your first movie ever, you don't go after the heads of an entire company. Like, I don't really.
Yeah, because then nobody else is going to want to work with you.
No,
like,
because
that is career suicide.
It really is. So I will be surprised if we see him in much going forward. Like, regardless of what the outcome is or what happened, like, if he's justified, that's fine. Like, you can say your issues, but it's, like I said, it's the relentless nature. It's how much you...
Well, he wouldn't come back even for reshoots, right?
No.
Even under Zack, he was like, no, I'm done. I'm not coming back as this character.
Yeah.
Like,
well, he literally said that he wouldn't come back on anything that had any connection with the guy who runs Warner Brothers Studios. And so it's like, okay, so you just never want to work on anything Warner Brothers ever again. Ever. Like,
yeah,
I mean,
that's fair.
Which, I mean, I feel like
fine.
Other celebrities have done that in their own ways and are not going to show up in specific things. So he may still show up
first.
Yeah, exactly. It's like he's not even an established actor, really.
Right.
I mean, maybe he could.
If it offended his morals or standards or whatever that much, or I don't know
mean,
what happened.
kudos
Obviously,
for him.
but yeah,
like for
stand up for
to it,
yourself.
but
Yeah. From what I gather, it's basically just that Joss rubbed him the wrong way and he didn't like it.
Well, yeah, inappropriate touching.
Not that kind of rubbing, but yeah. And the interesting thing I thought about it was when it first happened and the allegations first came out, no one backed him up. No one said a peep for literally like months. And then just recently, out of nowhere, a bunch of like rando other people that have worked with Joss Whedon over the years was like, yeah, Joss is kind of a dick. He did this and that and is kind of hard to work with. And
it's weird that everyone was so quiet for so long.
I thought it was really odd.
I mean, if it's just...
I mean, they were just protecting a career.
Like all the accusations to me sounded like any boss I've ever had.
Right.
Like,
especially if he's an artist.
Yeah.
Like, most of the time...
They're difficult people.
They can be difficult people.
Yeah.
Like, they're... You know, unhinged.
Yeah.
Some could say, but yeah, like if it obviously I have no idea the situation.
Sure,
or what
I should have brought up the full accusations or whatever, but I mean, it's you can look it up if you want, but it's
I literally won't ever.
Yeah.
I can't. I give zero.
Yeah,
shits.
celebrity's problem with another celebrity.
Yeah.
Long story short, he was supposed to be in that next up and coming Flash movie, and now he is not. They've literally written him out of the movie, and so
I just don't know why they didn't recast him.
Yeah, they need to recast him because the character's good.
Yeah, I think it is too.
Yeah,
especially when you see the amount of movie that this character is in this movie versus the first one.
Right.
Because and that was part of his complaint, and I do understand that, but like the way that he painted it was like it was a targeted thing by Joss, where like Joss, my guess is, this is me just speculating, was literally just trying to trim the fat that he was told to trim, and therefore did what he did. Now, he bastardized the first movie. We've all agreed on that. But he was just trimming fat, and unfortunately, it sounds like Ray's character was the easiest to trim because he's the least... he's, as far as these other founding characters of the Justice League, he's the lowest on the totem pole.
Right.
I mean, it just
he's
is
not
what
as
it
iconic.
Is. Yeah, he's not as iconic as these other characters. That's a good way to put it. So it is what it is. But anyway, so all that to say, that's basically the story behind all of the hubbub going on. Because that is the wild thing is there's so much surrounding this movie. Like there's so much BS and insanity surrounding this entire film.
Yeah, just so much drama.
Yeah, just
since its inception.
Yeah. I mean, for the simple fact that Zack Snyder said like, I would rather go home and hang out with my family and spend time with them because this is too much of a pain in my ass. Right. Like,
Warner Brothers needs to get their shit together.
They really
sounds
do.
Like.
Yeah, it really does sound like
that.
Well, and that's what angers me because people think it's DC, but it's Warner Brothers.
Well, and they have to realize they're losing money because this is now. So this is the first movie, the DC movie they've completely like redone.
Right.
Then Suicide Squad is a full bore new movie that they're redoing but sort of doing the same movie. Which, well, I mean, we'll see what that's all about sooner or later.
I mean, it's at least we've got a solid director on it. So,
directors don't seem to matter though. If WB's going to go behind them and do fuckery, which is what we've been discussing. So maybe WB's learned. Yeah, maybe they're not going to stick their big old nose in there. And go.
And that's the thing. So, and the other thing that I haven't mentioned is just so this said too is that Warner Brothers paid $70 million to make this movie.
The reshoot.
This cut. They spent $70 million to make this version.
What was the first one, like $400 million?
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't think it was that high, but still, like, that is not, like, that $70 million is not including any original costs. This is literally just this thing. And the more insane part of that is that Zack Snyder did it for free. That $70 million is not anything that they paid him. That's literally just like visual effects and sound.
That's sad for him, man. He's having to like. I'm sure he felt the need to like redeem himself.
Yeah,
because of
it's also like his
out.
Project,
right?
And he was like, "I'm not leaving the project like this."
It was probably personal for him.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah,
I'm just curious to see how they plan to like recoup money.
I think that their whole goal on that was subscribers. They have a new streaming service that needs more subscribers. What better way to bring it in than this brand new huge movie? So
yeah, but that much money?
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot of money.
But they're also setting it up because if DC were to announce a movie today, and the last DC movie you saw was the original Justice League, would you want to go watch it?
Right. Yeah.
You mean Wonder Woman?
See, they're already shooting themselves.
Fair enough. So they have redeemed from Wonder Woman 2.
Well, next thing's Suicide Squad, so
yeah, it is.
I mean, we're gonna watch it. Like,
we'll
I'm gonna
watch
it.
Oh, we're gonna watch it because we're gonna review it. But I feel like a lot of people might go, "Man, these DC movies have just been not so great, so I'm not gonna watch it."
I mean, for me, I had 2 in a row that were redeemed because I freaking loved Birds of Prey and I loved Shazam. Like
but then Wonder Woman 2.
So like, and then there was Wonder Woman 2, and it was like it's like with DC, it's just a roller coaster. Like you never know.
You don't know if it's gonna be a good movie or is it gonna be garbage.
Yeah, this could be like the worst thing I've ever seen, or I could love it. And usually, it's not the director to blame; it's Warner Brothers. Right. So, but. Anyways, I want to get on to talking about this movie. So, you guys want to go ahead and give your Rotten Tomatoes score predictions? So, if you don't know, what we do is we give our Rotten Tomatoes scores predictions. We try and guess what the critics are going to think about this film and what the audience is going to think about it. So,
you want the guest to go
yeah,
first?
I think Mr. Tallent should go first.
Not a clue because I didn't realize we were doing this since it's a new movie.
Keystone.
Not a new movie.
I feel validated.
Yeah, Chris
is usually let's see. Critics, it's DC, so they're probably still going to hate it. 60. And audience, 73.
Okay, interesting. Okay, I'll go next. I'm comfortable going next.
Looks at his phone.
Yeah, I'm looking at the scores right now. So I think the critics are going to give it somewhere in the 86 range.
Okay.
I'm shooting high for this, 86, and I'm going to say for audience, maybe like 82.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's a solid.
Yeah. Matt, what you got?
All right, I'm going to disagree with you. I think critics are going to give it a 45.
Ooh, really?
Man, critics don't like superhero movies. Y'all guessed high.
They like Avengers movies.
Well, this is not an Avenger movie. And then I'm giving audience a 70.
Okay. Interesting. All right. And Chris, what you got?
Man, Matt made me rethink my numbers. Because you're right. They don't like them.
They don't. And it's a 4-hour movie. I think critics might judge it.
I'll stick with my original gut.
Yeah, go with your gut.
Say,
your gut has been speaking correctly.
Too damn straight.
So it's getting bigger. So. I'm going to say 71 for critics.
Okay, I think that's solid.
Audience, I'll say 65.
65? Okay, nice.
Interesting. Wow.
This is a good spread. This is like a perfect spread, actually, for everything.
Yeah.
I really like where we're at. There will clearly be someone that's way off. It'll probably be Matt. And
I'm telling you guys are way too believing in the critics.
You and Matt Blade and Matt are the two.
Yeah, it'll be one of us
away.
that's way off.
Yeah.
So, because we're on either end of the spectrum.
But Blaine likes to hear rumblings of things. And so this is he's like...
He's not been right, though.
It's been... People are saying good things about this.
I'll go ahead and admit my rumblings. I'll say I have heard a lot of positive rumblings about this movie.
Yeah. Well, I've seen articles on Facebook and stuff talking about it, but I don't trust anything on Facebook.
Sure.
So I don't know if that's critic or whatever. So,
yeah, right. Definitely. Yeah, I'm intrigued to see, but I think for both, it's going to be substantially higher. If you think about, I think both of them will be higher than whatever the original scores were. And
what were the original scores?
I don't know. But we could look it up.
Well, no, because you might accidentally see that.
That's what I'm worried about.
We can compare after.
We will compare after.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. We'll compare after. So you guys want to move on into the review?
Yes, sir.
All right, folks. So from here on out, it's going to be spoilers. We're going to talk about everything Snydercut related and Whedon doo-doo cut. So, it's going to be spoilers from here on out for the Justice League guys. So if you don't want to hear any spoilers, bail out. All right. So, guys, let's talk about it. I want to know, okay, so I feel like the biggest wild card on opinion on this movie is probably going to be Chris, potentially. So, Chris, especially with your vile level of hatred for the first film, and I saw the first one with you in theaters, and I remember you, really not being happy.
Yeah.
So what's your opinion on this movie?
I mean, it's way better, obviously.
Yeah.
It's a decent superhero movie. I like it. It was good. I mean, 4 hours is excessive.
It's a lot.
Excessive. I did doze off twice. Very little points. I woke right back up. But yeah, I mean, it was good. I enjoyed it. I can say that it's a good superhero movie.
Okay, nice.
It only took them 4 hours to tell it. But it's
which, like Matt said, they pretty much had to after not setting it up pretty much at all.
Right. Yeah. They literally crammed essentially 6 movies.
Yeah.
They could have done 6 movies to lead up to this.
Yeah.
They could have done at least one more movie before
this could have easily been a 2-movie thing. Like they could have done the first. They could have done the first chunk of this movie with like a separate plot.
Right.
Like, like everything that they introed with a different villain, a different whatever, and then done this latter half as the back half of another movie.
Right. They could have extended Batman vs. Superman to a 3-hour movie.
Yeah.
Then done this one as a 3-hour movie. And it would have been fine.
They could have, but which, granted, it sounds like, well, after the director's cut, they clearly left a lot on the cutting room floor for that one, too.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
like, clearly Zack has a penchant for, like, really long films and for taking his time. Like, that is clearly his MO, which I'm really interested to see because he has a new movie coming out in, like, a month. And he has that new zombie
movie.
Yeah, which I'm very excited about,
cool.
actually. So,
which is surprising because there was that time where there was a zombie movie.
I know, we were like sick of them.
I'm just like done.
I know,
but now it's been a while.
Yeah,
so.
well, that's the thing. It's been long enough.
Well, and it's been
nobody's watching The Walking Dead anymore.
I was about to say we all bailed out on The Walking Dead years ago. So
I bailed out for season 2.
Yeah,
I might have made it through 4.
I made it till Negan bashed in what's his nuts' head, and
Didn't make it that far.
I saw that all over Facebook.
It broke my soul, and I was like, nope, can't do it anymore. My man's eyeballs hanging out of his head.
Exactly. Whenever I dipped as well.
Yeah, it fucked me up.
Yeah, y'all made it farther than I did.
Yeah. So, all right. So who wants to go next?
What did you think of it?
I loved it.
Did you?
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
How? So you're tepid on the first one, but you love this one?
So I watched the first one once, just like Batman vs. Superman. So I didn't hate the first one, but I definitely didn't like it enough to spend another 2 hours watching it.
Yeah.
I would, if I didn't have to work at 6 o'clock in the morning, I'd go home and watch this one again.
Really?
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
That level of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. And you are our DC fan.
I do like
so
DC.
I'm probably your close second. Like well, there was a moment in this movie. There were many moments in this movie. One in particular where like Sydney just kept laughing at me because I was just like sitting there and I was like, "Motherfucker, I love Batman." Like at one point, like, and she's just like laughing. I'm like, "For real though, he's great."
And Batfleck is so good.
He's the best fucking Batman.
God,
No,
he's
so
so good.
I love him, man.
He is
You don't
very
like him?
good.
Dude, he's
he's
good.
okay. Well,
I think he's way better than Christian Bale. I did not like Christian Bale as Batman
It's
at
a
all.
different Batman.
It's a
I like
different
Christian Bale,
Batman.
but it's a.
I don't like how his chin, like his face, is shoved into his mask.
I don't like his sunglasses, but he still made a badass Batman.
Oh yeah, those were terrible. Also,
Yeah, they were
They had the
terrible.
mask to his face ratio. Like his face didn't fit in his mask. It seemed like the whole time. I didn't hate it. I just don't like him as much as
It was no
Batman.
George Clooney, but I liked him.
Yeah,
I mean,
George
I
Clooney.
prefer bat nipples, and bat bulges, preferably.
And close-ups of smooth butts.
Yeah,
100%.
Like I want all of those things in my Batman movie. So I mean, that is a letdown, but
But I liked how bulky this Batman is. I like that part.
He's a beefcake.
I like Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne.
Oh, he made such a good Bruce Wayne.
He's a great.
Oh yeah,
dude, and the level of hope in this Bruce after BVS, like I loved it. It was such a bit of like fresh air of him just like being like, you've got to have faith, like you've got to believe. Like none of that shit was in the other movie,
and you don't see that in Batman in general as a character.
No,
because he's a dark. He's a
right.
bat,
Type.
right?
Yeah.
Which and it's like it's fine. Like he can go back to his brooding. Like that's fine, but it's like this is the founding guy of the Justice League. Like he needs to be hopeful about this. He needs it to work.
Yeah. And you can be brooding but still be hopeful.
Yeah,
like that's another thing that they showed in this
true.
movie was that yes, we know this character is a brooding person, but he also is hopeful for the future of the human race.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and
Just also kind of it was desperation.
Yeah,
essentially.
Yeah,
like, he was willing to roll the dice.
Well, yeah, and after BVS, it's like it really put all that in a scope where he's like, Superman is so much better than me. Like I am an asshole. I fucking suck. Like yes, I'm a superhero, but I'm just what Gotham had to have.
And I also get that I do not even compare to Superman.
Yeah, he's like this dude. Like, and it's my fucking fault. Like it is my fault that this dude is dead. I take full responsibility. Like I have to wallow in that. Like we need to fix it. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, that was a big portion of that, too. There's so much in this movie that was not in that other movie. Yeah. But before we get too much deeper into it, I guess me and Matt will go too. So, Matt, what do you think?
I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Nice.
This was way better than the first Justice League, and this was way better than Batman versus Superman.
Yeah.
And, 4 hours was a bit long, but I didn't care after about the first third that was 4 hours long. Like, I was in it to win it, and I just... Yeah, we watched it all at once. It was great.
Yeah, you did it all. And honestly, like Chris said, like I think I will probably at some point watch this again. Like, and I guess I haven't fully said, but I loved this movie. Yeah. Like, I really, really, really liked it. Especially after, because I've made it known on the podcast and everything, it was like 2 weeks ago when I went back and watched the first one. And I actually did like that first hour. And the first hour is mostly Joss stuff, I think.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. The first quarter of the movie is very similar to the original.
Yeah.
A lot of it is still in there, like the whole thing with
there are some huge
them collecting
chunks missing.
There are, but majority of it's the same.
Yeah.
Now, what I didn't like about this reboot was they changed up the music choices in the first quarter, only the first quarter of the movie.
Yeah.
And so there was like these super intense, not even intense moments, but it was like slow motion walking, and there was like music overlays that did not make sense in this movie. That was done better in the first movie.
I agree.
And I didn't understand. I was like, if this is what the movie's going to be like, this is going to be terrible. And then they stopped after the first quarter, and I was like, what the fuck? Afterwards.
There were some really weird music choices in that first
The music at the credits, I remember liking. It was like a cover of some song. I can't remember now.
Of the original?
No,
the
music.
The music. This one,
yeah.
It was.
I don't know.
Because I watched through the credits to make sure there wasn't any thinking sneaky beaky.
Extra.
Was it Hallelujah?
I think it was Hallelujah.
Yeah.
But it was like off key, or it was like
it was
a lower
so
octave.
good though.
I feel like the music
was like an opera version of it.
Yeah.
It was. I feel like the music for this is like Chris's like wet dream, because it's all so somber and mellow.
Me?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And Chris is all about somber, mellow, chill music. So
I'm a depressed guy, dude. Super deep.
So it was perfect for you. But I did feel like Joss actually made some better choices when it came to.
Well, that's what shocked me. Like the one that really I couldn't fathom is when Aquaman saves the drowning sailor, and he like is in the bar, throws him up on the table, and he goes outside and he's walking back to jump in the ocean. And I don't know what the song that was playing in this one, but it was terrible. And I was like, this is so shockingly different. It sucks. And then when I was watching the original today, it's Iggy Thump. And I was like, this song is fucking awesome for like Aquaman, like drinking whiskey, walking to the ocean in a storm, jumping in with Iggy Thump blasting. I was like, this is a perfect song for this choice. And I don't know. I have no idea why they changed it.
Yeah.
And they shouldn't have.
Well, so the big thing about the changes in this one versus the Joss Whedon cut is that Zack Snyder has never seen the Joss Whedon version. That's
Which is
why
fine. To me, it's just a character thing. Like, I want to go back and find the song that they did for the Aquaman one.
Yeah.
Because it was like a female singer, and it was more of like a happy song with, it's like super gray, it's stormy, and he's walking into the raging ocean. And I was like, this doesn't fit.
Yeah.
It was so weird that I wrote it down. I didn't take many notes on this movie, but I wrote these notes
like, why
down.
is this weird song playing right now?
It doesn't make sense.
There were some odd song choices, I thought, in this version, but they all felt extremely intentional, if that makes any sense. Like, so I excused it because I'm just like everything that Zack did felt so intentional in this cut, in this version. Like,
it changes the entire feel of the movie.
It does.
Like the changing of just the music.
Yeah.
Well, there was a changing of the music, but there was also a lot of changing of colors. When I realized watching the original, like
drastic.
Batman's wearing his blue and yellow and red. The lighting's all brighter, and then this one
Superman?
Superman.
Yeah,
and then in the remake, he's only wearing black.
Yeah, they did change the color of his suit.
They
right?
did. It's a black suit.
Which in the posters of the original, it had the black and gray Superman.
It did.
Yeah.
There was so much weird about the marketing of that first film because it was like they didn't even know they were releasing.
Right.
Like,
They probably didn't.
Yeah, it's so strange. And I remembered seeing even just like simple marketing and stuff, and everybody's like, "Yeah, the black suit, it's gonna be in here," and then it was just like wasn't in the movie. Everybody was like, "What happened?"
Right.
But like also, even just the color palette of the entire movie is drastically different. If you look at scene comparisons, like Joss literally cranked up the colors because he is not into what Zack does, which is dark and gritty and dirty. Mm-hmm. Like, that's just not Joss's thing. Joss is poppy, bubblegum, like bright. And I mean, it works for the Avengers. Like, that's how that world is.
Yeah.
And it's perfect. But like, that is not this world. And I think that they need to be what Zack has made. Like, this world works being dirty, cringy, grungy, whatever. Like, and if they want to make a slight shift, if they do more Superman stuff, like, I'm down for that, making his movies brighter.
Yeah, because Man of Steel had its bright moments.
It did.
Well, and that's perfectly fine. Like, if they want to do a Flash movie and it's brighter, okay. You know, there's nothing wrong with that.
Right, because he's the witty one in.
And I would expect it to be
He
brighter.
was a shining star in this movie.
It was so good.
It was so interesting because he was funnier and had more quips and one-offs in the Joss Whedon movie.
He did.
And so they took out a lot of his quips, but they gave him more depth.
They did, yeah. And, God.
I liked him way better in this one.
Oh, he was a much better character.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
all of them
the
were.
characters.
Yeah, they really were. I mean, the only one they really went more...
Go ahead.
I was just going to say with Cyborg,
Yeah.
you actually cared about him in this one. Because that was my complaint with the other ones.
The first movie was just like, who is this guy and why is he here?
The Flash and Cyborg, they were just side characters that
Yeah.
you didn't have any backstory on, or very little backstory.
Especially Cyborg.
I still don't like Cyborg in this one.
I don't either.
I despised him in the first one. I still don't like him in this movie.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah?
I could take him or leave him. He's my least favorite character.
Yeah, definitely.
Easily.
I think he was OP, and I don't remember him in Teen Titans being so OP. That's my only title.
I liked what he brought to it, but I didn't like the acting at all.
No, I don't.
I mean, you could. He just was not good.
His character, he was just a dick.
He was a dick the whole movie.
Yeah.
Well,
like,
I mean, if
Well, at least
your
this gave him
dad
depth
never-
and reason why.
right, that's what I'm going to say. So, like, your dad never showed up to anything, and then
Your dad
you
didn't
die,
love you.
and your dad puts an alien force inside your body
Sure.
to bring you back to life.
Yeah.
And then your mom dies. I mean,
yeah,
And
he
then
had
you
a
come
tough
back,
life.
your mom's dead, and your dad still doesn't really care about you, and then you're trapped
you're
in a
locked
building.
in a house. Like, I get why he's an asshole, but he just was not a good actor. That's why I don't like
That's
him.
kind of my thing. I just didn't pick up on any depth from Ray Fisher.
Well, he also blamed his dad for his mom being dead, and I'm just like, was he driving the truck that
But
smashed into him? Like,
I
what?
think any teenager would do that. I personally think
guess.
they would. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it was blaming more because of the conversation they were having at the time.
Right.
And his dad not being
Was that she
present.
wasn't paying attention to the road because she was trying to comfort
was
him because
defending-
he was having
Sure.
a little breakdown. So I think that's the mindset they were going with the
Fuck 'em.
cyborg.
Don't like him.
Yeah,
Which is
I
fine.
I kind of
One little
agree.
bit.
It,
Your
he
dad
was fun.
brought you back to life.
Yeah.
You're gonna hate him.
And I get that
Like,
too. Like,
okay.
I know that you're a machine, but you're still here. Like, mentally you're here. So
and even
you have all these cool-ass powers.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. He was too powerful.
Even his dad was like, you don't have to... you're not stuck in here. You're not a prisoner. His
Right,
dad
you're
was
doing
like
this to
encouraging
yourself.
him to leave.
So was Cyborg that powerful, like in the cartoons and stuff? Because like even in Justice League Unlimited, which I love that freaking show, I don't remember him ever even seeing him
have. I mean, he had powers like
but I thought it was just like he's a cyborg. Like he had like a gun hand and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't think he could just like tap into the entirety of the internet, and he was basically an AI. I didn't think so, anyways.
Yeah, but I mean, like one laser eyes from Superman, he's dead. So I don't think he's that overpowered. I feel like
he wasn't dead though. He literally was able to block and deflect.
He could do more than a lot of people could. Well,
he didn't actually take any damage from Superman,
That's
which
fair.
anybody else except maybe Wonder Woman would have been dead.
Right.
They would have been pile of goop.
Well, Batman with his cool gauntlets.
Dude, those gauntlets were
those
dope.
are sick.
That was sweet.
bracers, whatever
I
they
will
are.
say the one thing with all of these movies that they have freaking hit the nail on the head with is, especially with more than anything, Wonder Woman and Superman, is their theme songs. Both of them give me cold chills every time I hear them.
So
They're so spot on. They're so perfect.
Oh, yeah.
They embody these characters. Like when the Superman's that dun, 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 that deep like guttural, like it's just like, oh, fucking Superman's coming. Like it's just like it's so good. Like even like the Avengers don't have those characters. Don't even have that to that level.
Right.
Like that level of resonance with their theme. And then with Wonder Woman's like. Like her whole thing, like when that cranks up, you're just like, she's about to wreck some shit.
Yeah,
like,
And can we just say, or for me personally, her fight scenes in this movie are so much better than fucking Wonder Woman 2.
Yes.
Like, they looked so dog shit to me. Not to, like, bring up the past, but
I mean, it is
Wonder Woman 2 was so bad. Like, so bad.
The CGI in that movie made me want to punch myself in the throat.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was also,
awful.
riding lightning,
Yeah.
like, come
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It was cool in, like, Hulk 2 or whatever iteration was it, whenever they were, like, fighting the lightning person.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all. Just that's all I gotta say.
That is all. Wonder Woman 2 special
Well,
effects.
that's why I
suck.
will say, like, I really enjoyed how they extended the fight scenes.
Yeah.
Because all of those fight scenes are technically in the first movie, but they have extended them, they've altered them, they've just made them better.
Right.
And I don't remember saying "damn" in the middle of fight scenes. Like I audibly said "damn" in the middle of multiple fight scenes of this movie.
Agreed. There were multiple.
Or holy shit.
Yes. There was a lot of that in this movie, and me just being like, "Woohoo!" Like, especially the biggest thing that pops into mind. The one big thing is a random little scene is when a bunch of Atlanteans are getting drug up onto a beach.
Oh yeah, that wasn't in the.
No, there's so much that's not.
They
in that
left
first
out
movie.
that whole like
the
mind
demons.
reading ability.
Yeah, the
so
mind
that
reading
wasn't not
things.
in the
That is
first
not
one.
in the first movie at all.
Right.
None
Which
of
was
that.
awesome because then it explained why they would learn anything.
Yeah, because they were pulling all the thoughts out of these people, like, and so, but that scene, he Steppenwolf throws one of the Atlanteans, and his like just head splatters on the wall.
Yep.
And there's like some like people getting chopped in half a couple times, like. It ends with literally them chopping his head off and it
So
rolling
good.
through the. I was just like, oh,
Well,
So
when
good.
Superman cut his, I guess, horn
off.
God,
Yeah.
that's so cool.
Yeah.
dude, there's so many moments.
I will say for the beginning of this movie, I felt a little lost just because it had been so long since I had seen Batman versus Superman. I feel like that would be a good recommendation for people to watch that.
Yeah, it was a
before
little
watching
muddly,
this.
Yes.
muddled, I guess.
Yeah.
I would say that too.
I agree.
I feel like they did flashbacks during that, but I don't remember any of that in the original Whedon cut of this movie. Did they like do a bunch of flashbacks?
No. So there was definitely
Dude.
they were very different beginnings, and honestly, I think the Whedon cut did a little better of a job.
You thought?
being not as confusing.
I thought the Whedon cut was so confusing.
I don't think it
I
was
don't think
as
it was confusing, but they were so quick. They set it up so quickly. It was like, if I remember correctly, like I said, I haven't seen the Whedon cut since it came out.
Yeah.
But I remember Wonder Woman and Batman sitting behind the computer and looking for Cyborg, looking for the Flash.
Yeah.
And so they showed the convenience store footage, and I don't even remember what they showed for Cyborg, but then that was just it. Okay, let's go get these people and find them.
Yeah, that's still a little further in the movie. Like I'm talking about the very beginning.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about too.
Yeah,
honestly, when it's just like panning over the water from city to city, and it's like showing flashbacks from Batman versus Superman.
There was none of that.
See, none of that is in
Luthor in the water, and
literally,
it shows the three things.
Oh yes, I know what you're talking about.
Like, I don't remember any.
Yep.
I don't
no, none of that
That was the only thing they showed.
There is so much more explanation of everything in this movie. To me, I was confused as shit even recently watching the first one.
Yes, but what he's talking about, I had no idea. I completely forgot about what you're talking about at the very beginning with Luthor.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But see, like watching the beginning of this, and I haven't seen Batman vs Superman since right around when it came out. I was kind of confused, like Chris was, about like what was going on. Even having seen Batman vs Superman previously, I was still kind of like, what?
Yeah.
Well, or even the fact that like Superman's dead. Like you have to remember that too, because that's a weird thing.
Which, they just show him being stabbed in his sound waves. That's right.
Yes, I thought that was an awesome addition for this version.
Yeah.
And
it was.
It was the shot heard around the world.
Yeah,
literally. Like,
and it woke up the mother boxes.
Yeah.
Which you didn't
and see,
show
they cut that
before.
out. Yeah, that was cut out completely. Like, the mother boxes didn't wake up in the original until Steppenwolf is basically on top of them.
Yeah. Well, in the first one, like you don't even really know what they are. You don't really know what they do. Like they're just like
Well, they kind of explain it like
they do
over
it's
like
very
2/3 of the way through. Like they're gonna create things.
Yeah, it's very simple. Like it's not remotely to the degree that this one was. Like this one just explains so much to where like in that first movie, the easiest way to put it is like since I watched it the other day, like, and I will say like with watching it first, like I did really like that first portion of the original, but like it falls completely apart. And either way, throughout the entire movie, there was just so much of me being like, wait, where are we? How did we get here? Why are they there? How did they get there? What is like? It was just constantly throughout that whole
because they do just cut. They just jump.
It is the most jumpy. Like they're here, they're there, and you're just like, I don't even know how they got here. What did they just like? But like even them going to like Superman's spaceship, it's like it just everything happens so fast, and it's like there's enough of these chunks that Snyder filmed that weren't in the original that were so necessary. Like that's my thing is like with this new version, it is 4 hours, but honestly, almost everything is necessary in this new version.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Well, again, I feel like it probably still could have taken out maybe about an hour,
and I think maybe like 30 minutes tops.
Yeah, I think there's wiggle room in there, but between 30 minutes and an hour, and they could have pared this down. But I don't mind that it's 4 hours.
Yeah, there was a lot of, and I think that's whenever I dozed off one of the times.
In the beginning.
There's just like a lot of like staring listfully into the screen kind of a thing. Like they could have snipped some of that short. I appreciate like the artistic
It's very artistic, this one.
Or like whenever describe the first quarter as masturbatory.
It was a bit.
Because especially like there was several screens, and there was like both male and female, where they would just be like staring, like they're just like in the camera. That's it for prolonged periods of time.
Or like the amount of time that they spent recording Batman going over the mountain range at the very beginning.
Yes.
Like, do you need 17 mountain shots of him?
Yeah.
Like we get the idea. Like he hasn't.
And see, they cut that out. I mean, don't get me wrong. Part of that is still in.
Yeah.
Like
first,
2 seconds of
but
it.
they did cut out him climbing over the mountains and all that.
Yeah,
and they cut out like half that discussion he had with the people.
Right. Yeah, they literally just show him standing on the top of the mountain. They don't even have the discussion about him not being able to get there by helicopter and like all that.
Yeah,
like,
they
cut
cut that conversation completely down.
And then there were some added scenes from Whedon in that part as well. There's one scene that is
because Aquaman just goes with them.
No, he goes out into the water in the first one, but there is a green screen scene in that one that Whedon did. And it is so bad. You can tell it's a reshoot. Like, it's clearly... Because all of the stuff that Zack filmed was clearly on location. Like, they went to wherever that place was in Iceland or wherever. Right. And there is a Whedon reshoot where you're just like... like, it's just Aquaman standing in front of a green screen. Yeah, where Aquaman's, like, going back out into the water. Mm-hmm. It's just like, those are all fake mountains behind him right now. Like, in that first version. It's bad. It's really bad.
Yeah, I did like Aquaman more in this version.
Yeah.
He was much more tamed down. as far as being like, dude, bro, like,
well, that's because
cool.
he's also more aggressive.
Yeah.
In the Whedon cut,
He's
more like, man, I don't trust you. Man, I don't believe you.
Right.
And I was like, man, that's kind of like aggressive.
Yeah.
For no reason.
It's really, I can say that there are two things. There are only two things that are really just one thing, basically, from that original version, outside of the music, that like the Whedon cut that I missed. One of which is actually a really good scene with Batman in the very beginning, where he is catching one of the parademons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's a really good scene. I liked it. I liked the way he filmed Batman. You didn't like it?
I thought it was not necessary, and I see why they cut it from the Snyder.
Well, yeah, it was all new.
Because Snyder didn't need to. Because the scene there he's talking about in the Whedon cut is Batman on a rooftop. He has a person that he's just basically captured, and one of the demons show up, and he grabs him and kills him. Or he restrains him, which causes him to explode. And that's cut from this version.
Well, no, but the whole point, the whole point of the scene was that parademon hears a signal, like it's a sound that you hear. It's like a I don't even know how to. I almost think like a police siren
from
or
the
something.
mother box.
No, well, it's a call. It's clearly a call from something, and it catches the attention of the parademon, and then the parademon like tries to flee, or it like freaks him out. And so the whole purpose of the scene was that there's something that gets the attention of the parademons.
A sound.
And so how they did, the purpose of him doing this was in the end when Batman is getting all the parademons to follow him, he has figured out a way to replicate that sound, and he releases that sound on his Batmobile, which makes all the parademons follow his Batmobile.
Oh yeah,
yeah, and
which they completely cut that out.
They didn't cut it out. It was just all of what Whedon filmed, which he never saw or knew anything about.
There's nothing about the sound. They do have him leading the parademons away with his vehicle.
Yes,
right, but that's just because they're after.
Not with that sound. It's not in this version.
But it's interesting because that's definitely several scenes throughout the movie that was cut. Because there's several scenes with Alfred, like, I need you to amplify it. I need you to equip it to the Batmobile.
I vaguely remember that now.
Yeah, that's all like Whedon stuff, and I actually liked that little bit. Which I liked, like it was the only like major Batman and Batman suit only filming that Whedon did, and I actually thought he did a good job with it. Is all I was getting at. Like I thought,
he captured Batman.
He captured Batman well, like in the essence of Gotham, like because it was in Gotham. It feels very gritty and dirty, and I thought he did a good job with it. But that was all I really thought was that I missed from the Whedon cut. Otherwise, it's just a terrible bastardization of this movie. Like he really, after seeing this, it's just like you sit there and you're like, Joss Whedon fucked this movie up.
There was one other thing that I did like from the Whedon movie was that Batman and Wonder Woman had a better bond.
They actually had like a weird little romance going on.
It wasn't even necessarily like a romance, but they were just
there was a flirtation.
They were flirting.
Well,
I
they
guess.
flirted in this one, but it was nonverbal mostly.
Yeah.
Like he
the hand on the mouse
a couple times. Yeah.
Well, they definitely took out like 2 or 3 scenes where they were just kind of by themselves, and they were at least connecting more.
Like there's a scene when Batman gets hurt in the Whedon version, and Wonder Woman like helps him take his gear
It's after
off.
Superman beats his ass.
Yeah. And he's like, "Oh, you got jacked up," and he's got like bruises all over him and stuff, and he can't.
I remember that.
He literally can't get his suit off, and it's like Wonder Woman going in and being like, "Let me help you," whatever, and it's kind of this weird little flirtatious thing, and it was like I actually liked that too. That's a good point.
That.
Yeah.
Them having sex.
I can ship it. Yeah,
That's what you would watch.
So, I mean, I kind of wish they included a little more, but then again, doesn't Superman get with Wonder Woman?
I was trying to remember if that was the case. I think he does at some point, but that's like post.
Like I thought they dated
Lois.
in the
I guess
long-
after Lois, like way later or something.
Yeah,
I think I'd ship Batman and Wonder Woman more than Superman.
yeah.
That's too powerful. Too much power.
Power couple.
Too much power in one bed.
The
you know
ultimate
what I'm
power couple.
That movie
Would be pretty awesome.
And you saying that you had a point where you love Batman.
Yeah.
During this, like, I felt like he was so useless.
He was.
Compared to all the other people. Like, during that fight scene.
Yes,
like,
he was.
Sure, he had the cool vehicle.
Oh,
that was what I was talking about.
Just a defensive. He was taking down all the parademons while everybody else was fighting.
But that was part of the plan, though.
Yeah.
No, and it made sense.
He knows that he's the weakest one.
Right.
Like, he knows. It's very clear. And that was actually what I liked about this, is like Batman knew his place in this movie. Like, it was clear, like, Batman is not the strongest hero. Yeah. He's going to hang back. Like, he knows he's going to get wrecked.
Right.
Like he's not going to fight Steppenwolf. That's stupid. He will die.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that they kept that line in there. What's your superpower? I'm rich.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. It's still a good line. Like,
right.
I was hoping that wasn't something Whedon did, and it turned out it wasn't. I think it did hit a little better with whatever Whedon did. For some reason, I don't remember why.
No, it was literally the same scene.
There was a music or something was different. It had a different vibe to it.
But everything else was the same. Even the lead-up scene.
Yeah.
With the Flash and the Flash's little man cave.
It was one of the...
that was the same.
Yeah.
Obviously, the whole scene with Flash, that was like the building his story with the chick that he saves in the car that gets wrecked or whatever.
That's his love.
Okay.
His love and like...
So obviously they're going to do something with
They're making a movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
What? Oh, the love interest?
Yeah, so in...
That's Casey Plemons.
That's...
the car, it's...
Casey Plemons?
No, it's the main chick.
I'm just... Iris West is the character.
Yeah, it's Iris West.
I was... The actress's name is Casey Plemons or something like that. But, yeah, I really like her, too. I've seen her in some other stuff. She does a good job. I remember seeing her in the marketing material before the first one came out, and then it was just like, wait, she's not in the movie. Mm-hmm. And it was one of those other things that just Whedon didn't find to be important. And I actually liked him, like, getting the hot dog out of the air and saving her and feeding the hot dog.
Yeah, because, I mean, it made it a little funny.
It did.
And it just showed that particular character is a funnier character.
Yeah.
Better than Whedon did it.
Yeah.
I will say, like, obviously he's still a kid. I assume he's still learning his powers, but, like, if he didn't fuck up his own powers half as many times, like, this would have been...
if he didn't trip.
Tripping. And...
He was constantly
he was,
tripping.
Like, rolling all over the place, breaking his ankle, and, like, I don't know.
He got shot that one time.
I kind of like that he was so not in control of his crap. Like,
yeah, because he is also young.
Yeah.
That's where I can, like, let it slide. Like, okay, this is just, he's still learning, he's still young.
He's also very socially awkward.
Yeah, he's a weirdo for sure.
Yeah,
a little awkward.
I like him.
There was one thing I wish they did. I think this would have been hilarious. And obviously they would never do it. Joss Whedon would have been the one to do it. But imagine when Superman gets resurrected and he shoots out and then he goes and lands by the statue of his, like, memorial. And all but Batman are lined up in front of him because they can all move quickly. What? Imagine Batman running in the background.
Behind
all
them all.
Four of them are lined up. And you just see Batman. I was like watching this. I was like, where's Batman? And I was like, oh. He can't move
He's
quickly.
slow.
And I was like, oh, this would be so funny.
Yeah.
Obviously, it would ruin the mood.
It would, but it would have
but
been
oh
hilarious.
my God.
They could do, like, the Monty Python skit. Like,
yes, where he's just endlessly running.
He's just still in the background. And all of a sudden, he shows up.
That would have actually been amazing.
That would have been so funny.
Yeah, because it is funny because there are a lot of points where you're just like, where's Batman?
And then you're like, oh yeah, he'll catch up.
Yeah, he's just trying not to get his shit wrecked. Like,
right.
Like,
well, my favorite, and this was in both of them. So he had that really expensive, like, wall crawler.
Yeah.
And that thing got, like, it's probably like $1 billion prototype and gets fucked up in like 3 seconds by Steppenwolf. And I'm like, okay. Yeah.
I did like that the ship was a bigger component in this movie too. Like, they make a point about like Cyborg fixing his plane up, and like, it wants to be fixed, and
it wants to fly.
It wants to fly. There was like a lot.
They
of
cut all that.
Like in the first one, it's literally like he's turning a wrench on it at one point, and then all of a sudden they're in it, and then it blows up, and it's gone, and you're just like, well, that was anticlimactic.
Yeah.
I wonder. Well,
yeah. Oh, and by the way, the point that I was saying, the part that I was talking about liking Batman so much was when he busts out of the plane with his car, and he's just like wrecking everybody. And a lot of that was in the Whedon version. It was, but it hit harder in this one for whatever reason. There was more to it, and I just liked that was when they were really pulling the team together. And like Aquaman's riding on his. On top of the
that
car.
Was on the original one too.
It was, yeah. There were just little portions of it that Whedon cut out, but it just as a full.
Well,
unit,
I also feel
worked.
I think you feel more at the end of the movie because they've spent so much more time building the characters earlier in the movie.
You're right.
So you just feel so much more. Like, because there wasn't a lot added to that. I mean, they took out the whole Superman and the Flash going and saving civilians.
Yeah,
because that doesn't happen in.
Well, the civilians are the dumbest shit. Do you guys remember the civilians?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, outside of you just watching it in the original one.
Yeah, because they have to go save the civilians.
There are random civilians living in that nuclear town in the Whedon version.
Right.
Oh, really?
And
there's families like occupying the outer houses, and so when the battle starts happening, they're like, "Oh, we should probably leave our houses now," as if we didn't know there was a bunch of flying creatures here occupying the space already,
living in this radiated town.
Well, and throughout the whole movie, there's all these random little scenes of that family, like as their town's getting taken over by parademons, but they live in like this nuclear dump. It's so weird.
Yeah, they just pretend they don't see the parademons. I guess they're just like, "Oh yeah, that was a big moth."
Yeah, well, and they're like they're hunkering down the house and all this stuff. Like the only good scene with all that is that there's a portion in which, and it's so Whedon-y, it wouldn't have fit in this movie at all, and it didn't in the original, but it was funny. Is there's a scene when Flash is trying to save the people, and he's pushing a car that's full of like 4 or 5 people, like a family. And then Superman goes by and he's carrying an entire building full of people like past him. And it was actually a funny scene, but also it doesn't fit in this movie at all. Like it's just not it's not this movie.
Yeah. See, I thought there was a little scene before that I thought was a little funnier where the Flash is running as fast as he can because he's trying to go save civilians, and Superman flies up next to him.
Oh yeah.
Cruising next to him, he's like, "Yeah, not bad." And then Superman starts flying a little faster, because I just remember a particular comic or cartoon where the Flash and Superman decide they want a foot race
which
around
happens,
the world.
I don't know if you saw it. They do that at the end of that movie.
Oh, I don't think I saw that.
That is the post-credit scene, is them racing.
Yep.
Oh, well, they go so fast that they like ruin the
space-time,
whatever. Or the rotation of the Earth or something like that.
Yeah. That isn't from a cartoon or comic or something.
Yeah, I just remember watching that and I'm like, man, really? Superman's that OP? And that's when I stopped liking DC.
Yeah, is
because I was like, he's like the ultimate.
If
like,
you can go
your specialty is just that you're fast, but he is faster.
Well, he's not faster. Flash always ends up winning, but he's literally only like a millisecond faster or something.
Yeah, and then on top of that, you can fly, laser vision, immune to almost everything. Frost breath.
I do like that, he uses frost breath on the
I did too.
Or the axe, rather.
It was awesome.
It was cool.
He just, and that's the thing is, like, I was kind of bummed that you don't have much Superman, but at the same time, like, you have to have such next level villains for Superman that, like, he can only be in a tiny portion of it because he's so OP.
It still was so good too.
Yeah, you're right.
It was level.
It was equal.
Field.
Exactly.
I want a Superman movie with Bizarro.
Yeah, I would be down for that too.
So good.
Because I was like, Bizarro is such a weird character.
He's so strange,
but he's equally strong to Superman. So
he's just
that could
like
be fun.
my intelligence.
Oh my
God! Lower,
a little lower. We'll say.
Yeah. It's so. I'll say also, like, honestly, one of the biggest changes to this movie. There's so many. We would be here all day if we talked about all the differences between these two movies. We've talked about a lot of them. But honestly, I think one of the most essential, largest changes to this movie is in the end with the Flash.
Yep.
The component in the end with the Flash, and you probably don't remember, but him turning back time.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that.
Well, yeah, that wasn't in the original at all.
Yeah.
Like,
because he actually does it twice.
Yeah.
In this movie, he doesn't do it at all in the other one.
Yeah. He doesn't do it at all. And when it started happening, it just, like, it was so awesome. Because, I mean, they all die. Like, everyone dies.
And then
reality was
constructed it was awesome.
It was amazing. Like, that was
Superman's hand. That's what I remember the most. It coming back.
It's Cyborg's face rebuilding. Like,
so good.
They're just all completely dead, down to dust, basically. And he turns back time. And I think that moment in this film, when the Flash turns back time and you see that he can, you really see that he can do it.
Right.
Because he does turn it back for a millisecond when he's touching
like
the cube.
A second. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, but that's kind of one of those things that falls under, like, Superman level powers, like being able to control time. Obviously, he says.
Well, that's his biggest thing, though, is that
do this forever.
His whole thing is like the space-time continuum, which he mentions.
Yeah, well, and that's the big thing that they dive into if you get more Flash exclusive stuff is the time travel, because that's the big thing with the Flash show. Even is that like he constantly is finding out that there are things that you can't change. There are other beings that will stop you. There are
well, and then if you mess with the time force, then it speed force,
it messes with you.
Right. Well, it does. It literally sends demons after you, and then all of reality changes. Like you change one event in time.
Right. Exactly. Then, well, like his dad, like he's actually, it wasn't he the reason that his dad, there was something connecting.
So in the show, well, in the Flash show, on the CW show, he goes back in time to save his mom.
Save his mom.
Yeah.
And then he realizes that it's a version of himself that accidentally kind of kills his mom. And then when he does that, it also creates a new reality for everybody in the Arrowverse.
Yeah.
So some people that had kids don't have kids anymore, and it's nuts.
Yeah, it messed everything up.
Yeah.
So that is the whole thing with it. Is like it is OP, but also like it has a lot of consequences. So like he at least has consequences to his powers.
And what did he say whenever he went back in time? I forget. He mentioned something to himself when he went back in time at the end of the movie.
He did say something under his breath.
Said, like, don't do that again.
I don't remember.
Before or after he turned back
As he was going back in time, he said, I can't remember.
He said, it's okay, we can break the rule this one time. Or
something like that. Yeah. Like when it absolutely has to happen.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, all of the Earth got destroyed.
Right, like you don't have a choice. So even if it does change everything,
it's
better than being dead.
And this movie also focused a lot more on his healing powers, which the other one didn't.
Yeah.
Well, that's because Flash and Cyborg were barely in the other ones.
Yep. Yeah.
Like they did no character. They did very little character development for either of them. You didn't care. You're like, but it's like you go to watch an Avenger movie. You care deeply about every single one of the heroes.
Right.
Because they've all had their own movies
for you.
Yeah.
And they needed an extra hour at least to develop these two characters.
Yeah.
Right.
They do. Your brain today.
I know. It's 4 hours. I'm like trying to be like, Okay, so to throw back to, I think, last podcast we did where I was commenting about the way that the Flash ran.
Yeah.
And he still runs stupid. Like, I don't understand why his style to run is all like flaily. It's like an 8-year-old that hit a growth spurt that just like doesn't know how to use his super tall body. Whenever you're running, like you're swimming. I don't understand. Like he runs so
I actually
ridiculous,
really like it.
And I'm just like,
so I like it better than Quicksilver in Age of Ultron. Like I didn't like the way he ran because to me in Age of Ultron, and this is going way back.
Yeah.
In Age of Ultron, it only showed like his torso and up. So I do like it that it showed his arms and it showed his legs because in Quicksilver, all it shows is literally his arms and his head moving around. And
I didn't have a beef with how he ran. I had a beef with all the electricity.
Around him.
Anytime he runs in this movie, there's a ton of electricity around him.
Yeah.
And I understand like he could create like static and all that for moving too fast, but I don't know, I think they overdid it.
There is a lot of it. It's a cool feature, I think. It doesn't really bother me, but honestly, like, is there anything that stood out that like about this version that you guys just didn't like? Because for me, outside of just like some over lingering shots and a couple weird music choices, like, was there anything else? Because for me, there really wasn't. Like,
it was a solid improvement in my mind.
It is a solid improvement.
I do have a question though. I was thinking this the entire time I was watching it. So when did the original Justice League come out? And Aquaman, like
17?
Was Aquaman
17.
After or before?
Was it
after?
17?
Aquaman came out after.
Yeah,
but Aquaman was a prequel to.
No, technically, after seeing this movie, you can tell.
So that's what my problem is, though, because in the Aquaman movie, which I like, I know you hate.
I like it too.
I thought it was fantastic.
It was a fun movie.
It was stupid.
But so in that movie, he literally learns how to be Aquaman.
Yeah,
I thought it was a prequel. I think it's a prequel.
Maybe it is.
I'm pretty sure it's prequel, and he's like, don't trust. They're all like, don't trust
after
the
seeing
humans.
this movie, it's clearly not meant to be.
Because he's like, I need to go see my dad, did he put?
No, but it is a prequel,
Trident.
especially after watching this one, because he doesn't take on his duties still.
No, but he has
in
no
Aquaman.
connection in this movie to Amber Heard at all.
No, he does a little bit.
No,
he
not at all.
And the oh my god,
like he barely knows
the guy that trained him.
I can't.
William Dafoe.
William
Dafoe's character.
They didn't really have a relationship, and in Aquaman, that was pretty much his father figure.
I have a theory about this.
Is it Flashpoint?
No. Well, what it is it's the whole issue with these two versions of this movie. I think that it was supposed to be taking place after the first Justice League, or after this version of the Justice League. Then Joss Whedon cut it all up, and the way that Joss made it made it not work anymore for it to come afterwards. And so basically now with Zack Snyder's version, it makes it post Justice League. But with what Joss Whedon made, it technically comes before.
Because even whenever he first got to the mother box,
you've not seen
what's her name was like, I knew
it's
you would return.
The daughter is the son of
the son
the
of
queen.
So and then he didn't use in the entire movie the trident wasn't the same trident.
No,
it looked like his mom's trident, not the king's trident.
In this movie,
it
was. She said you need to take up your mom's trident,
right? Yeah, which is so I was really confused. That part made me. I literally just said it's got to be Flashpoint, which I know that they haven't mentioned anything about Flashpoint in the DC universe.
Which that is the next Flash. The Flash movie is Flashpoint.
Right. So I literally just chalked it up to that. But
I'm sure that
me the whole
that's
time.
what they're going to have to do. So
they're going to bring in all the TV shows.
Well,
Flashpoint.
Like this actually is a good segue into it. Is unless you want to talk about that a little bit more, but that whole situation is just kind of confusing.
No.
I just want to say Amber Heard's tatas are like way too big. I don't understand like
the suit, like
her,
how they
they definitely padded the suit.
Her boobs in real life are not like ridiculous. Like
no,
I mean that suit's a push-up suit.
Oh yeah, it's a push-up suit.
Yeah, but there's also like
Listen,
6 inches.
if I was a superhero, I would want them to do the same thing for my dick bulge. I want like a good 6-inch bulge on my superhero.
Like I
suit.
said, soccer. I'm like, nah, you see those veins through the suit? Nope.
No, just I don't want like an outward bulge. Actually, I just want like a good like foot-long bulge going down my thigh. Just like
my butt's gonna be like 6 inches thicker, and they're gonna be like, those look like pillows. I'm like, they're not.
No, I just got a fat ass, boy.
This is a Kardashian butt.
Yeah,
you kidding me?
It reminds me of the Boys, the Russian dude.
That God.
His superpower
is his giant dick.
Oh my God, when he choked that dude out.
Choked him out with his dong.
I died.
Yeah.
Zeno was so excited because he's a big component in the comic books.
Yeah.
What, the big dick guy?
Yeah. I
have got to read these.
Dude, you've got to read the comic books first off.
He's like Russian, right?
He's a Russian. He's actually not a super villain. He's a hero. He's a Russian hero, and they go to Russia and they like team up with him for like a series.
So is his only power his big dick though?
Yep.
Hell
he got that big dick
energy. No, he's got like super strength too, I think.
Well, yeah, you got to carry that big dick around.
But he's just like a big drunk Russian. It
would have been funnier if he was Asian.
Yeah. It would.
That would be.
So, segue. Yeah. So what I was going to say was, where do you guys think that the DC universe is headed? Like, do you guys think that Warner Brothers is going to make this canon?
If they were smart, they don't have to. They're idiots.
I'm saying, well, that's true. I'm saying if they're smart.
This is Warner Brother we're talking about.
If they were smart, they would say, this is canon. We are going to tie this into the Green Lantern Corps because we have not talked about that yet. But they did show the Green Lantern multiple times, like 3 more times than they did in the first
one. Martian Manhunter.
Oh, we haven't talked about that yet either. Yeah. So they have this
movie.
That's what blows my mind. This movie would have set up so many different things so much better than the Whedons did. So we have the Martian Hunter, which we have not talked about at all yet.
No.
That could be a whole movie. I don't know anything about him. That's the whole thing,
awesome.
Right?
He's allergic to fire, though, which is a weird like.
Me too.
Allergic to fire?
Like that's his weakness.
Yeah.
Is literally fire.
Oh,
like
I didn't know that.
It's kind of common, like a flamethrower.
You kind of find it everywhere, but he's from space, so they don't have that in space.
The sun.
But that's if he's
Mars, and Mars doesn't have an atmosphere, so they can't have fire.
Yeah.
That's where you're wrong.
Idiot.
Science.
Go start a fire on Mars. And
I will. It's called a butane lighter. Built-in oxygen. Anyways.
Green Lantern, They definitely are obvious. Like, oh, we killed the lantern, and the ring flew away. And I was like, boom, there it is.
That was really cool.
They're gonna make this, but that was actually, I will say, that was in Joss Whedon's.
It was, but for a millisecond, it was
millisecond. It was not explained.
That whole scene was fantastic in this version.
Oh yeah, because they expanded it.
It was so good.
I will say, okay, sorry to answer your question. I do believe you are correct.
That what they would.
I think that's why they okayed it. I think that's why they're like, we'll spend $70 million on this movie because we'll make a Green Lantern Corps show. We're gonna make a Martian movie. We're gonna make all this stuff.
All these journalists are pretending like the Snyderverse is not going to continue, and I think
we can prove them wrong already because look at the reboot of the other movie that's coming out soon. Suicide Squad. They're bringing Jared Leto back.
Yeah, they are.
Then Jared Leto was at the end of this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's coming back. I'm pretty sure.
I think so.
I don't remember him.
And so he's coming.
Which I mean, they're bringing Margot Robbie back. I mean, technically, but
and they're bringing back several of the other cast.
Yeah, they are.
Let's just say that if they do bring him back, they've specifically made sure to show him at the end of this movie.
So good.
Yeah, that end scene was wild. He is the creepiest damn Joker ever.
That laugh, that cackle, scares the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Also, Death Wish. What's his
Deathstroke.
Dude, Deathstroke is
Joe Manganiello.
Yeah.
Or
which
whatever.
they never showed his face on the original one, did they?
They
did. He was in the original one also.
But
I know he was. I thought it was
but
just
that
like
was
a very
supposed to be a
short
new
scene.
Batman movie.
Yeah.
Because I looked up some of the similar or what people have theorized.
Yeah.
So they were supposed to do a Ben Affleck Batman movie.
Yeah.
Where it was gonna be him versus Deathstroke.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like this future look that they did
with the mohawk and stuff. It was badass looking.
And dude, the Flash in that one looks so different. Was that even Ezra Miller?
It was him.
Oh, you're talking about the future, the Nightmare version, Nightmare Future. I wish so. Like one of my biggest beefs with Batman versus Superman, besides many of the other plot holes in the movie, was Batman having premonitions of the future.
Yeah,
which there are ways they could have explained this. Because in Batman vs. Superman, he was having dreams.
They call them nightmares.
The nightmare.
Right.
Of the nightmare future. So he was seeing the future for no reason. They never explained it. They never gave it any sort of reason. That was one of my biggest beefs. But this made sense. When they did it, they were like, this is what the future looks like.
Sydney was super confused.
See, it made sense because Cyborg saw the visions whenever he was about to ignite the
exactly,
thing.
and he's like, "No, don't do it. This is we're gonna have a fucked up future."
He said no, and Flash was like, "Go." And
And clearly, Superman's the bad guy in that future, and Lois is dead, and probably Wonder Woman's dead because she wasn't there.
Nope, she wasn't there either.
Yeah,
doesn't mean she's dead.
Clearly, they're dead heroes, though.
Right, which showed a very dark,
and if you were to think about if
future.
Superman was the bad guy, the first person he'd go after is Wonder Woman too.
Yeah, it's the biggest.
Competition.
Challenge, competition.
Martian actually is very on par with him, but again, laser vision, heat.
But I think he's not
easy to kill. In your eyes.
Which and that's the thing. Like he is one of the original founding members of the Justice League. Mm-hmm. Like Cyborg is not at all. Like he was not ever on that list.
Yeah, I didn't know even Cyborg was part of the Justice League.
He barely is really. He's more of the Teen Titan.
Because funny enough, like the original Justice League people are weird. Green Arrow's one.
Well, that may make sense. It's kind of like Hawkeye. Like
he's great in the comics. Well, I guess it depends on what comic.
I love Green Arrow.
I mean, they brought a lot of the original or the founding Justice League members into the shows.
Yeah.
What's the Hawk Girl? She's got the wings and the
Hawk Girl.
Hawk Girl.
That's right. I thought you said who is the
Hawk
Girl?
She's one of the founders.
I thought you said who is that Hawk Girl?
Hawk Guy.
Yeah, Hawkman.
Hawkman. One of the two.
He's going to
be
be
one of the founders.
He's going to be in the Flash movie, I think, or is it Shazam? Or not Shazam? The one with the Rock, Black Adam.
Oh,
Shazam.
Black Adam.
I think he's going to be in Black Adam. Another DC movie coming, but. Yeah, I think that there's no way that they can't continue the Snyderverse.
It would be stupid.
It would be really dumb
to not capitalize on this particular movie and pretend the Joss Whedon one did not happen in their verse.
Because there's no way that this movie is going to be as there's no way this movie is going to be as hated as that Justice League.
No,
movie.
it's not possible.
You say that.
There's no way.
How?
There's no way.
4 hours pisses people off.
No,
I get that, but just
I think people will be
watched
fine with
it in
it.
3 sittings and still loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can do that. I think people will be fine with it.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see in just a minute when we look at these Rotten Tomato scores. Yeah. I think they're going to be higher than...
I just think the critics are still going to shit on it, but...
I think it will still be at least 70 or up. I'll be shocked. But either way, I just think, fan-wise even, like, his critics don't mean shit. Who cares? Like,
right.
Like, the fans are going to... Because this is one of the few movies, too, where the critics don't have a lot of power as far as who's going to see it. Like, the critics aren't going to control people not watching this. Like, people are going to watch this if they want to watch it. Like,
yeah,
it's freaking Batman and Superman.
Yeah,
and
I
Wonder
feel like
Woman,
they have a pretty cut and dry audience that's going to watch this.
Exactly.
Probably very few people that are on the fence about it, you know?
Well, that's where I'd be very curious to see how many... I hope HBO or Warner Brothers, whoever, eventually release, like, how many people watched
Oh, yeah, yeah.
this version of the movie.
I have a feeling it'll be like the most watched thing on...
We got to think, even
I
if
hope
you
so.
hated it, you watch it just to see if it's any better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. Or you said, I didn't like that movie and I'm not going to waste my time on this one. I can see a lot of people just going, hey, I don't want to waste my time.
Maybe
on like the opening weekend or whatnot, but once the buzz starts hitting, people are like, okay, so why are they still talking about this?
Well, that's what I hope.
I think that's going to happen. So, do you guys want to go ahead and move on into the Rotten Tomato scores, or is there anything else you wanted to talk about this thing? I mean, there's so much. There's so much different. There's so much just in general. I know there's things we're not touching on or covering.
I mean, we could talk forever about
I feel like we've hit a lot of the
Snyderverse.
major things, though.
What did you say, Chris?
I said we could talk about the Snyderverse
or the Snyderverse.
forever.
Oh, yeah. And where it's going.
The potential.
Well, that's the whole nightmare thing. Is so far-fetched from all these other movies.
Yeah.
That I would be... Because obviously I think the scene that they showed at the end was from his idea of the third movie. Mm-hmm. I think.
Right.
So I think the second movie will be getting to the point where Superman is a villain. Because I'm guessing what happened... Oh, we didn't even talk about Doomsday's in this one.
Yeah, which he's not in the other movie at all. Not even once.
They mention him.
Not Doomsday. Not Doomsday.
Oh, no. What's his name?
Darkseid?
Darkseid.
Darkseid.
Yeah, which was also confusing that like his prophet was called like Darkseid, and then his name's Darkseid or something. It was like
it's
really
a similar-ish name.
Yeah.
Oh, also, did you guys catch? I'm pretty sure that Granny Goodness was in this movie.
Who?
Granny Goodness.
No idea.
You guys are not DC fans.
Sorry.
Correct.
Losers.
Correct.
Granny Goodness is a long-standing DC character. It's this old lady who's tied in with Darkseid, and just
With
think
the
like
staff, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Think like if Oprah was like an evil alien, which I mean maybe
Maybe it could be.
So think in reality.
Think real life.
Probable.
But yeah, she's on Earth. She's that type of personality, or like Martha Stewart.
Yeah.
Think like that, but then basically she's here to like brainwash everybody and get them on board with all that. Man, this is too close to real life. But yeah, basically there were 3 people when it showed Darkseid in his place.
Yeah.
And it was like the main guy the other like minion that we saw talking to, God, I keep forgetting his name.
Darkseid?
No, the main bad guy.
Wolf.
Steppenwolf. Talking to him, but then there was another woman standing beside him, and she had gray hair, and she was pretty like bulky and whatever. And I'm pretty sure it was Granny Goodness.
We also saw there was an Asian scientist. He's the Atom.
Oh,
Yes.
That character. He is
Really?
Atom.
Adam
Yeah.
Ant, really?
So that's
He's basically
the-
Ant-Man.
That's literally the thing they introduced in this movie. All of these small, like just
Other
briefly,
characters.
even all these other characters with the intentions of bringing them in
Yeah,
as more major characters down the road.
that's crazy. I did not realize
completely
that's who
cut
that
out
was.
from the Joss Whedon movie.
I did not know that's who that was.
I didn't either. Like I said, I was reading an article talking about the comparisons, and I was like, I didn't like. Obviously, I'm not a DC fan, but I do know who the Atom is
Yeah,
because he's in the shows.
yeah, he's in the. He's
and
in
I was
the
like, well, there you
Arrowverse.
go. That's interesting. It's another small
super
character
cool.
that they were preparing
Yeah,
to bring in,
and we only got a little bit of.
and he was funny. I laughed.
Yeah, no,
His
he was
little
good.
quips.
Yeah, he was pretty funny, and we've brought up a little bit Martian Manhunter, but basically Martian Manhunter is the green guy we saw. He says his name at the end, but like he is a founding Justice League member. He is a Martian. He shapeshifts, turns into other people, can fly. He's got some Superman-esque powers, but not quite.
He runs a government agency.
Yeah.
As his like,
And we saw that actor in the first Superman movie. Like he's who Superman when he comes out as being Superman. he's who he talks to at the end of the movie.
They're like best friends in the comics.
Yeah. So it's set up for so much. I'm going to be honestly pretty pissed if they don't continue with this.
I was looking up because I couldn't remember what the comic series was, but I think what Flashpoint's going to do is set up Earth 52, which is when there's a lot of really, really dark, evil stuff where people like superheroes die, Wonder Woman dies, Superman, you know, all these things happen, and that's kind of what it reminded me of with the dreams.
Yeah,
which could be, and so like in my mind, the way they could have fixed Batman vs Superman, one of the ways, like with the whole dream sequences, is he could have touched like one of the mother boxes, and that could have like shocked him or something, and then he could have started having these like premonitions. Yeah, and I would have at least been like, okay, this is a reasonable reason that Batman's starting to have these premonitions.
They did. They didn't. They only alluded to it, but I'm wondering if it's because of Flash and his appearance to him in Batman vs Superman, and he talked about it, and he's like, I had a dream that I saw the Flash, and he was telling me that these bad things were going to happen. He said that in this movie, and there's a scene in BVS where the Flash basically he's sitting at his computer, and the Flash shows up, and he has that crazy helmet that he has on him, the metal helmet,
like the 70s,
and he shows up to him, and I'm wondering if he's having these dreams because that happened. Basically, like, Flash made him have some sort of connection to the future, and that's why he's having the dreams. That's my guess. They didn't spell it out, but that's my guess.
Yeah. I mean, it could have been.
Yeah. So, y'all want to talk about these scores? Y'all want to look at them?
Yeah, sure.
Let's see.
Let's see how wrong Matt is.
See how much they hated it.
All right, y'all ready? So we don't have the big screen, so y'all can't see, so I'm going to show you.
Yeah, just read it to us.
73 and a 96, boys.
96?
96 by audience. Wow. And that's over 25,000 people.
And that is...
Holy moly.
Wow.
That is our biggest number I think we've seen yet.
Wow.
If not ever...
In a week's time?
Well said.
Right. That is 100% people just appreciating how much better this is.
Yeah.
Like, if this was released without a previous Justice League, it wouldn't be a 96.
No, it'd be 20 points lower, probably.
And that is...
I don't think so. I think it'd be probably like 10 points lower. I think people still really appreciate this, because it was a
96
great movie.
Is so high.
That's insane.
Okay, what was...
And how many, 73 by critics, and that's
how many
240.
Critics? Okay. So that's a
fair
amount.
Solid,
that's a fair amount.
Like middle of the road amount.
Damn.
And that's still high. So 73 and what was it? 96. Oh wow. I think I was the closest with 86 and 82. Actually, no. Chris was one away. Chris was one away on the critics.
Yeah. But audience, I was way off.
Or, well, 2 away. You were 2 away. You said 71.
Yeah. Audience, I was like 30 points.
Yeah, you said 65. I said 82. I was the closest on that. Yeah. But 96 is...
That's insane.
I would
have
not
never guessed 96.
Well, it doesn't just...
With 2,000?
Yeah.
500 plus.
No, 25,000.
Maybe they bought some of those. That is a lot.
That is that's literally 10 times more than like anything we've watched.
Yeah.
So that's what, like 23,000 people giving it 5 stars, right? Based on how they crunch their numbers, it's either a 0 or a 10 or 100.
Yeah,
it's got to be based off of, not all of them, but the majority of it's got to be based off the original.
Man, if I was Joss Whedon, I'd feel like a little bitch.
He should.
And that is the Snyder version?
Yes, this is
because the other one.
Oh, actually,
look that up.
We said we'd look at
I'm going to go ahead and guess the critics gave it like a 20, and the audience
probably 30.
Like a 10.
Yeah, trash.
I think the audience is lower.
I'm really curious.
I think the critics probably like that one better.
Which one?
Than the audience.
Oh, it has a 40 and a 71.
On 71 on audience,
and that's over 100,000 people.
So I'm a big DC fan.
No, yeah,
71% of.
But if you're not like a big DC fan, you just like superhero stuff, then it's like,
yeah.
But
okay, I guess.
So it says for the critics' consensus, it says Zack Snyder's Justice League lives up to its title with a sprawling cut that expands to fit the director's vision and should satisfy the fans who willed it into existence. And then for what the audience consensus is, with more action, more character development, and double the runtime, this is the epic Justice League that Zack Snyder fans have been asking for.
Agreed.
And I agree with all of that. And really, it's like, actually, I'm surprised as far as top critics go. It's a lot of splats on here, which is interesting. And not surprising.
It makes me wonder if, I don't know, 25,000... or is it 250,000? What is it again?
25,000.
25,000. I wonder how many of those are people spamming.
I doubt it. I mean, the first one was 100,000. You have to create an account to even do one.
Yeah, you have to have like some kind of a...
Not as an audience,
Yes, you do. You have to have a login.
Well, yeah, you have to have a login, but how hard is it to create an email, set up a password, and then
not for
5-star?
To become a critic, you have to have a boatload of reviews.
You have to have reviewed movie every week for 2 years.
Yeah.
To become a critic.
So, yeah.
I mean,
so that literally could just be everybody who like was on Reddit asking for this to happen.
Well, they could also set up a program that just does it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could.
CAPTCHA. It's 100% successful against robots. They literally can't do it.
So
show me the pictures that are all mountains.
So Shirley from The Atlantic says, as much as some of the scenes made me, a casual DC Universe fan, gasp, the film's brutal length and scattershot storytelling introduced more headaches than thrills.
Oh my goodness, I don't like her.
See, I told you. People are going to complain about the length no matter what. Yeah. 4-hour movie is never going to do well.
And then this Tim fella from Screen International, he's another top critic.
He sounds like a dude.
His last name's Fella?
His name is Tim Fella. No, it's
Tim Fella.
He says, while Snyder's version can certainly be stunning, it's ultimately undone by his excess and the underlying flaws of an overstuffed story. I mean,
but you got 4 hours.
But how is it overstuffed though? Like that's the thing. It's like a 4 hour.
Not overstuffed. It fits perfectly in 4 hours.
Literally,
I mean,
like we said, if they would have done a 2-hour Flash Cyborg movie and then a 2-hour Justice League movie, it would have been perfectly fine.
Yeah.
That's a 4-hour movie.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's just honestly like, I think overstuffed is the wrong way to put it. It's like this movie just took its time, honestly. Like,
but there was enough action throughout the whole thing to keep you in it.
Yeah. Right. I completely agree.
For sure.
Yeah, so Chris Struckman from ChrisStruckman.com, he's a top critic, and he says the film this film is infinitely better. Zack Snyder's Justice League is a deeper, richer version. And
these Chris guys are smart.
Yeah, these Chris's, they know what's up.
They know what's up.
There's another solid tomato from Salon.com, but I refuse to read anything that they have to say.
Fuck Salon.com.
They're assholes. So I wanted to find another quote-unquote top critic, but I'm having trouble. They don't have any after the first page. But basically after that, it's really funny. There are only like 4 top critics, or 5 or 6 that reviewed it, and they're on the first page, and most of them were splats. But then everybody else is pretty much solid tomatoes.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
It's all the non-top critics came out of the woodwork.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll go ahead and read Salon, I guess, but because they actually liked it, believe it or not, and they're the type of people that would hate on this. But they said Zack Snyder's Justice League shows Snyder's evolution from a director known for emphasizing style over substance to a man who understands why we love superhero myths, whether they live in the DC universe or Marvel's. And I can agree with that. Like these did feel like the heroes we wanted to see, and that we got gypped in that first movie.
I agree.
Like this was what this movie needed to be. And honestly, I mean, I'm impressed with the fact that it's sitting at such a high score from both. Yeah. I mean, I think it's awesome.
I'm shocked. I'm still shocked.
Yeah, I am really shocked.
I'm shocked at a 96. That's insane.
Yeah, from audience, that's super high.
This just makes me angry at the whole rating system.
What
was the really good movie we just watched recently and it was like 26%?
That was last week. That's which you haven't listened to the episode yet, Chris.
Way to F it up.
Hey, it's not my fault you're not listening to our podcast.
Oh no, I listened to it up until like 7 minutes in when you said, all right, we're going to spoil it.
Yeah, sorry. Well,
Oopsie.
You'll just go in knowing that the critics bashed it and we loved it. So
yeah.
Well, technically it's Blaine's fault because I didn't know what movie it was. I just said there was a movie.
I outed it. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I told you you were safe here, but you're not. But yeah, it is a wild thing. I mean, I hope that these solid reviews lead to Warner Brothers paying attention.
Yes.
I hope that it leads to more Snyderverse and ultimately like them letting people create what the hell they want to create. Which clearly they're giving faith in James Gunn because he's already finished filming the new Suicide Squad and is currently making an entire TV show starring John Cena.
Nice.
And his
so bizarre.
It is so weird.
John Cena doing what?
As Captain Helmet or
No,
whatever?
Captain Helmet. His name's Peacemaker.
He wears a big shiny
He does.
crow helmet.
He wears a big, shiny, dick-headed looking helmet.
He's like the Juggernaut?
He looks
No.
like he could be. I don't know.
The Juggernaut.
It's more like a white trash Captain America
Oh, cool.
with a chrome helmet.
I'm super excited to watch this.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I mean, I am too. I just don't expect a lot.
What is this going to be?
From it? Yeah.
They should have made him the Invisible Man.
John
John
Cena.
That would have been hilarious.
He's grown on me a lot over the years.
I've always liked him.
hilarious.
I liked
he did
his
that
first
Firehouse
movies.
movie or whatever.
I did not watch that
It
one.
was so good.
Really?
I laughed my ass off
Really?
watching that movie. Yes.
I thought he was good in Blockers. I really liked him in that. He was really funny.
That was funny.
It was initially called Cock Blockers, and then they changed the name
Yeah.
to just Blockers. But that was where he kind of won me over, I think, actually, was that. I've seen him in
Oh, see, I
others.
liked him back in his action movies.
Oh, okay. You back when he was doing
21
like
Blocks or
B-list,
whatever, or
like
Marine.
Oh, yeah, the Marine.
I think the Marine might have been one of his first.
yeah, he was doing like
Where he's just like a badass.
dollar store movies, action
yeah.
movies.
Yeah, I was just a badass.
Yeah. They're like the straight to TV
Yeah,
movies.
yep. So, I mean, really, I don't think we need to dig into this thing anymore. We've picked the bones pretty clean.
We've said our opinions.
yeah,
We've discussed the differences.
Yeah, I mean, if we really hyper discuss the differences, we'd be here till tomorrow. So,
Because I mean, they did things like changed Steppenwolf's like face.
no, he looked completely
His
different.
voice was different.
It was. Now, I will say, Sydney was not crazy about the way that he looked in this one.
He looked better than he did in the other one.
I liked it.
I did too, and I liked it. She just said he looked too much like a video game character, which I can kind of understand.
Because he was 100% CGI.
He was.
Yeah,
Well,
and
she
the
just
other one,
meant
he
like
had
his
a human
suit
face.
being all like reflective and like
Makes spikes when
and
he
spikes.
gets angry.
But I thought it was really cool. I told her, if you think about like he's just wearing armor. I was like, and if you think about like an alien's armor, like this is actually pretty cool because it's like just think about like the weirdest, most off the wall thing you'd think of like what an alien would wear for his battle armor. Like that's what he's wearing.
Yeah,
which
it's an
actually,
adaptive armor that would heal itself from damage
do
and
what
then
it needs
also cause damage by creating spikes.
Yeah. I thought it was pretty cool. And I actually really liked when the first time that he sees Darkseid and he actually peels his armor back.
Yep.
And like kneels and all of his armor comes down to his waist. And I thought that was really cool. It was just there was so much detail in this movie.
Oh, we didn't
So
even talk
much.
about how it completely changed his story
Yeah.
on like why he was
Doing
on
it.
Earth.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about that. I mean, that's a whole other thing. It's
I
not the
know.
biggest deal, but
No, there's just
I want
so
to talk
much.
about
Yeah.
Well, I mean, just like the fact that Darkseid got defeated the first time he went to Earth by like some Joe Schmoes. Obviously, there was a lantern there.
well, they're the old gods.
Well,
There was Zeus.
yeah, there
Zeus,
was Artemis.
The way that they did Zeus and stuff was awesome.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Yeah.
awesome.
That's true.
It was so cool.
So I mean, it was like
There were,
the
old
badasses.
gods. Yeah.
And that's when Steppenwolf said you got the blood of the old gods. To
Yeah.
Wonder
Yeah,
Woman.
to Wonder Woman.
He's like, you're not like the others.
Right.
Like, so clearly they had another level of power. Like,
Right.
it's like you
well, that's why Wonder Woman's so much better than the rest of her own race.
It's kind of like Thor, too, where it's like Thor,
Yeah.
like he's a god. Like
Right.
these people are gods, and that is the big thing with DC and how they like they call their heroes gods.
Yep.
Like really,
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, they're legitimately like
yeah.
Zeus.
God tier.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I mean, what Marvel character is even, I guess, remotely as strong as Superman, which would maybe be Captain Marvel. Like,
Yeah.
she's the closest one to being that level of powerful. So,
Sadly.
yeah, Captain Karen. So, I'll say I like that movie, but
I did too.
it's
I
just
did
Brie
too.
Larson just
The
kinda
movie is not the
sucks.
problem.
Yeah, it's the actress.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's just kind of the worst. But anyways, well, cool. Well, I guess that's it. I guess so. I do want to say about halfway through this, our video recording decided to stop. I do not know what happened.
I know what happened.
The battery
died.
Yeah, because I unplugged your chair, which sounds weird.
You killed it.
I unplugged the chair to plug in the lights.
Did it.
Sorry.
It's his fault.
Yep.
And
You
the
don't
battery
get to look
like,
at your phones all awkwardly, like,
yeah. Well, I'll just, when I post it, I'll post the video and then I'll just do like one of those like, and like a warning. Do like one of those like,
just black screen the rest of it so that they still can like listen to it through YouTube.
Yeah, I could put the whole. Yeah, I'll just put the rest of the audio up there, but the video will just stop at a point.
Like stick figure animation for us.
We can reenact the movie. And
no, I'm gonna put that meme of the dude with like the 5 foot long dick that's sitting on the bed. It's just gonna be that for the whole latter half. It'll end up on YouTube in like 5 seconds.
That would be
what
great.
meme is this?
You've not seen that?
No.
The guy. It was like circulating forever.
Yeah,
it's
bet
the
it
dude
was.
sitting on the bed.
That big of a dick.
It's like a baby arm. Or actually, no, it's a grown man arm hanging between this dude's legs.
I'm about to pull it up.
Yeah, you guys will
we
know.
look at different memes.
I know you guys have seen it because it has been circulated within our text group before.
No, it hasn't.
Oh, it definitely has. One of our friends sent it, so yeah, I'm sure Chris will show it to you in just a minute. He's going to start Googling big dicks. So.
Yeah. I'm not going to say what I Googled.
Oh, I know what he Googled. Yeah, don't say that. So, yeah, we'll...
I got to turn off my safe search.
You're going to see some things you can't unsee.
Yep. So, long story short, though, for the YouTube people, sorry, you aren't seeing our beautiful faces anymore.
Oh, you saw half of them.
You saw half of our faces.
Yeah, we're two-faced.
Just
Shadow
pause
face.
it at the very end of whenever you can see us and just listen to the rest
the rest of it.
Yeah.
That's a good point. So, but yeah, outside of that, as far as next week, I think we've talked about it. We might be reviewing Mr. Nobody, so we might be doing another actual in-movie theaters review.
Yeah, I think that's in theater only.
I'm excited for it.
I am too. It looks so awesome.
We've all accidentally seen the trailer for that one.
Yeah.
I think I actually watched it before even in the theaters. I think I brought it up
really?
to y'all whenever I saw it on like
really
MySpace or wherever it was.
It was definitely on MySpace. This movie, they've been talking about it since the early 2000s.
Hey, you don't know me. I still have my MySpace account.
Yeah, you did say that you recently pulled it up.
I was able to get back into it.
Able to access it. So,
Scary.
also, this is the part we'll do our send-off song. So I hope Chris actually found one.
You can
Y'all go first. Yeah.
So I can go ahead and do mine because I had mine pulled up and ready. And if you don't know, our send-off songs is just a playlist that we have, but we also we send you off with a song every week to check out. Oh, well, not one song. All of us send off with a song. And we have a playlist that's on Spotify, and we also have a YouTube playlist that I am terrible at keeping up with. I should just have Chris do it because he likes YouTube.
You should.
So I'll do that. You can have the playlist.
Okay.
I don't want it. I'll keep up with the
I'll
Spotify
just share
one.
my playlist.
Not even anything we talk about. It's completely different music.
So I'll. But everything's on the Spotify playlist as well, and there are two. There is a YouTube playlist and the two on Spotify. I haven't even started the new playlist on YouTube yet. It's Chris's job, so whatever. But yeah. So I am going to send you off this week with a song by The Midnight. I did a song
Back again.
Yep, back again. I did a song from them. Last season, and this one I'm going to do is a Ghost in Your Stereo, and it's from a brand new EP that they literally dropped like a day or two ago. And let me just say, I know you guys are Midnight fans. We've seen them live. This album, even though it's only like a handful of songs, is so good.
Nice.
Like really good. They went so like their old albums were like more like 80s, but with saxophones, like that vibe of 80s. This one, they're going hardcore, full-blown synth, like just dirty, digital. Like, it's good.
Oh, yeah.
Plug it into my computer, and it'll make my computer do things.
Yeah, it's good. So, yeah, Ghost in Your Stereo by The Midnight.
Very nice.
Yeah, what you got, Chris?
I feel like there's a lot of like new EPs and stuff coming out.
Everybody's, I think it's all this COVID.
I mean, it's COVID because
Yeah.
everyone's just hanging out at home. And that's the thing is like if I was in a band and I was hanging out, I just be like, hey guys, let's just jam. We're just gonna
music.
Yeah, we're just gonna fuck
We've
around.
got a
with
year
music.
to do Dick.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah, we can't go on tour.
Sound.
And that's the thing is like there's one band I'm listening to nonstop. It's not the one I'm talking about today, but like they literally just put out an EP and they're like, we cannot fucking wait to go on tour
oh, I'm sure.
because we haven't been able to.
Yeah.
So we like you can hear our music, but as soon as venues are open. We're going to be on tour.
That's got to be like 80% of the fun of being an artist, like performing live in front of people.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Definitely.
I'm not one, so I'm just guessing.
Yeah, it definitely is. So what do you have?
I'm going to do a more popular song. Surprise, surprise! There's more than 100 people listening to this. It's bbno $.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
It's Help Yourself. It's one of his newer. I think it came out in February, like beginning of February.
Oh,
or it could be older than that. And this is just he made the video for it at this time. But
okay,
yeah,
he's great.
It's good.
He's like I was telling Chris, he's like best friends with he's best friends with Young Gravy. They're like bros. He shows up in a lot of Gravy's like songs and stuff. So, he's good stuff. So that's Help Yourself.
Yeah, the music video for it is great. Like it's just a lot of fun, even though like the subject matter of the song is kind of like sad. But it's really cool. Yeah,
nice. All right, sweet.
So this is not a new song, and you guys have all heard the song many times. But it's "Morning Light" by Wilderado.
Okay. Oh yeah,
great song. I've just been listening to it a lot recently. I was just like, I love Wilderado. There's still a small band relatively, so love to give them some.
It's a good one. Chris, I don't know what this is,
dude.
Have you heard about your Lord and Savior Kidney Chesney?
I do. I'm going country.
It's Toby Keith.
Yeah.
I'll bring up something after you say yours that you might know about, or you'll be interested in.
So go ahead and say it.
Oh, so
no, it's a mystery. You have to speak first.
No, it's
go ahead,
cool.
Chris.
Oh my goodness.
Nope, there's the brain again. It's glitching.
Yeah.
He's scrolling through the folders. He'll make it through there. So while you're picking your song, Chris will think.
Well, I've got my song.
Okay, go ahead.
So different.
No, it's okay.
That's fine.
Unacceptable.
I mean, Sydney suggested a Bob Marley song once.
It's true. We've had Bob Marley,
which was very different than like all of our stuff.
So I'm actually doing this because my son loves to listen to it, and he always asks for it. So
Wheels on the Bus.
So
brilliant.
He actually does like Bon Booby is what he calls him, Bon Jovi.
Bon Booby.
Yeah.
I like
Can
that
I listen to Saturday Night? So it's called My Boy. It's from Elvie Shane, and it's about a guy who meets a girl who's got a kid. She's a single mom, and he falls in love with her and falls in love with the kid. And the whole song is about him not being his actual child, but never let him go and things like that. It's a really good song.
That's so sweet.
What kind of music is it?
It's country. It's like pop country.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it relatively new?
Yeah. It's 2020.
Oh, really?
Cool.
I don't know if I've heard that. Nice.
It was Post Malone.
Covered. Oh, yes, he just covered it.
Yeah,
so good.
Something with an S. What's his name?
I don't know country. No, it was Brad Paisley.
No,
he did one or two country songs.
Oh, it wasn't Brad Paisley, the one that I saw.
No, he just covered a Brad Paisley.
He did multiple country songs.
Yeah, this was like 2 days ago. He did.
Well, that's because he
loves country music.
He does.
He started off as country, I think, is what I heard.
Well, he growing up because he's from Texas. I think he just played a lot of country music. He didn't actually like release any albums or anything.
I'm waiting for him to do a country album.
I think he will. I really think. Yeah. I told Sid, I was like, he's going to be one of those people who's going to like drop random albums, and it's like, okay, here's his country album, here's his rock album, here's his whatever. Like he's going to keep messing. Like just like he'll release like a friggin' bluegrass album. Like
I like Posty.
He's great. I really like him too.
He seems like somebody I just want to hang out with.
He's one of those like national treasures. He's just one of these celebrities that do what?
I'm gonna miss her.
I'm gonna miss her. Oh yeah,
something with S. Sturgill something.
Sturgill Simpson.
Yeah. He did. He covered him.
I think he covered quite a few country songs. It was like he did a country session recently because I've seen a couple clips come out.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if he's released this like publicly or not.
And D. White Yoakum. He covered a D. White Yoakum song.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know nothing about country music, but
yeah,
I listened to it because it was Posty, and it was pretty good. It's not like a rap cover or whatever.
Yeah,
it was like a legit like country. Just it's a rendition more so than a cover.
Yeah, he's a national treasure. He does some cool stuff. On his knuckles.
Don't question.
Well,
it makes sense.
No, maybe.
I was gonna say was on his knuckles. I think is like all these famous like country singers and stuff. Is like what his knuckle tattoos are. It's like Willie Nelson.
I'm pretty sure that I think so. That's what Post Malone has said previously. Is that all of his inspirations like growing up were all these country singers.
Yeah,
and so he was into country, and then he got all his tattoos, and then he was like, well, I'm pretty good at the rap pop.
Yeah.
And so he did that for a while. But now he's really famous, so anything he's going to release is going to be popular.
Sure. Yeah.
Because he's done stuff with Ozzy Osbourne now, which was like one of his like, he was like, the opportunity to work with Ozzy was insane. So he loved it. He did multiple songs with Ozzy.
That's awesome.
Sure. His last album, he had so many people on it. It's kind of ridiculous. It's because he's so nice. Everybody's just like, I'm going to be on this album.
Well, it just seems so excited, genuinely excited for music at music's sake.
Yeah.
Right.
Just to create more music. But, well, we've gone over 2 hours this week. So
I thought we would.
It has been a long time since we've done that. Yeah. Thanks, Tallent. It's all your fault.
God.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was worth it.
It was. No, I'm kidding.
Was it as good for you as it was for me?
You got to pay me more for that.
At least get a reach around. Jesus.
It's not over yet.
Was there there was something I was watching recently. Was it not Justice League where somebody made a comment about a reach around?
No.
Was it in Justice League? There was something that I watched recently where someone made a comment about it, and I was like, "This is so
it was
weird."
Justice League,
dude. I feel like it was.
Well, let me pull up the Google.
I don't think they made any sexual comments in Justice League.
Dude, it was in something really unexpected, and
Star Trek probably. Well, that's all you're watching.
Well, that's what I was going to say. That's the only thing. No, it wasn't, because I've been done with Lower Decks. I swear it was Justice League, and I was like, that's weird. I swear it was. Chris is looking it up. I hope.
Well, I've already looked up the meme, and now I'm concerned to look up reach around.
He's just looking this up for fun.
Just type in Justice League reach around. It was in something recently.
Definitely
and
no porn parodies will come up.
Yeah, no, none at all.
This dude's got T-shirts.
Well, anyways, on that note, I guess we'll leave and we'll let you know later about the reach arounds.
Do your own research on the reach arounds.
There you go.
But anyways, guys, thanks for listening as usual. Thanks to everybody. Thanks to Cats of Music for doing our intro and outro songs. Thanks to Aubrey Troutman for doing our logo. Thanks for Mr. Tallent for showing up today. And
thank you.
Gracing us with his lovely presence. It was a blast.
His DC knowledge.
That's right. Yeah. And I guess check us out on Instagram. Check us out on our website. It's fireside.criticallyaroused.fm. And right, is that right?
Yeah,
sounds right. Mm-hmm. And Instagram and everywhere really. We're at Critically Aroused and on our YouTube and all that fun stuff. Make sure to give us a like, subscribe. It really does go a long ways. I know it's annoying hearing people say it all the time. It annoys me when other people do it too, but it really does go a long ways because it helps people find us in the algorithms. So it's just kind of how this beast works.
Damn algorithms.
Yeah. So if there were only algorithms that directed people towards the Biggest Losers, it would siphon them straight to us. So, but anyways, guys, thanks a bunch. We had a blast, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah. Until next week.
See ya.
Chris, you gonna say bye?
Bye.
He's too busy looking up.
He's looking up.
Staring at this baby arm right now. It's awful.
Well, anyways, see you guys later.
Third legs.